Alrighty. Let's see here. Let's make sure that the audio is working out just fine. Okay. Yay, audio's there. Excellent. Oh my gosh. So, late for two reasons. One is a good reason, the other's a stupid reason. Late in part because I got visited by my wonderful, adorable, beautiful older sister, and I am not going to say no to family visiting. And then StreamYard decided to completely reboot and kicked me off. So that's the way it goes sometimes. But great to see you guys here. We got Dorcas Daydreams, we got Lurk McGurk, we got Hannah, we got Lover of Wolves, we got Dan S. Hey there, Dan S. We got ISO. Fantastic to see you guys all here. And I immediately want to address what I see right there from Mojo Service. The hunt for Bill already happened. Yes, one hunt for Bill has happened. And now we are entering a whole new stage. So I am excited to talk about some of that stuff and to show you guys something that maybe you have seen if you have been following the recent news from Gravity Falls. But it seems like we're going to be kicking off a brand new kind of hunt. Maybe not necessarily for Bill Cipher's body, since that's already been discovered, but maybe for something else that Bill has been a part of. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Of course, we're going to talk about murder drones because Glitch Productions has been doing a fantastic job of dropping all different kinds of tidbits and whatnot recently. And the discussions I've already been having with people today about Murder Drone's intermission has really opened up the doors, I think, for a greater understanding of some of the strengths and weaknesses within Murder Drones that I'd also like to talk about. So there's been a lot of cool stuff already coming on up today, which I'm excited to jump on into. And I do have a lesson regarding vocabulary that I wish to share with all of you writers later, and I think you guys will enjoy that one, if not feel maybe a little bit chagrined or embarrassed. And don't worry, we've all been there. We've all made horrible mistakes, and I'll get to laugh at some people who deservedly need a good laugh in the face. But we will get to that point. Roblox, maybe Glitch is waiting for the fans to write the plot. Now, Liam's already got the plot down. The plot has always been about leading up to this amazing face-off between robots and an eldritch deity, and we're finally here. Yay! TV account. Hi, did I miss anything? No, not much. I'm the one who's late, so we just got started over 3 minutes ago. So you really haven't missed anything other than the introduction and my explanation for why we are late tonight. Or I should say, why I am late for tonight. So, Marilyn, real quick, the solver symbol looks like the arms coming out of the core. Yeah, now that we know a little bit more about Absolute Solver, really seeing its body and everything, the symbol now makes a whole lot more sense as well. So that's a very good observation right there, Matterlad. Mimic, hey, great to have you here. So hyped for episode 8, y'all. It's definitely going to be sad to see this epic series end, but it was a very fun ride, and thanks to Murder Drones, I discovered this amazing, beautiful channel. Hey, fantastic. Yeah, Murder Drones has been just an absolute blast, and it's going to be sad to see it end by the end of the month, but that's something that I definitely want to break down. But like I can break down a little bit here on this live stream, but when I do my Ultimate Series retrospective, it's interesting to look at Murder Drones because it is very far from a perfect series. However, at the same time, the things that it did well, it did so well, and it's such a breath of fresh air. It especially when you look at all the other slop that Hollywood is throwing at us, and what the and what publishing agencies are throwing at us and everything, that that it's great to get a truly bold, unique story that's unabashedly itself, is having so much fun, and just tapped into what so many people were looking for, a good dark adventure comedy, and showing that you can make eldritch horror work in a long form story, which is something that a lot of people have tried to make happen in the past and hasn't always worked out all that well. But Murder Drones has actually succeeded fairly well there, I'd argue. Dan S. Wait, did Sin kill Tessa? Yes. Yes, it's sad. Hey, Shade, welcome. DV Count, don't be sad to see it go, but be happy that it came. Absolutely. I am so happy that this show has happened. Oh, Matterlad's already got to go. Sorry for starting a little bit late there for you, Matterlad, but great that you popped in anyway. Sleep well. Have a good night. But for the rest of us, we are just getting started. One of the things I have to say that has really bummed me out is that as I've tried to actually reach out to other big name creators here on the YouTube platform to be like, hey, like, you guys should actually really check out this show. All these things that you guys have been complaining about that Hollywood has done recently, you will find that this show is really an answer to Hollywood in all of the best ways, and none of them are willing to listen. Like, it's super, super annoying. And I'm just like, oh, come on. You guys are missing out here. And I think that's something that's going to happen, unfortunately. Like, after Murder Jones ended, fans are like, oh, it's over, but I'm still going to spread the love, share this amazing adventure that I went on with all these other people, even if they're not there to experience it with me in real time. That only then are big name creators going to be all like, wow, Murder Drones was really great. Let me make a video about it, make it sound like I always knew what I was talking about, that I've been here the whole time. That's what I feel is going to happen. Sin committed the greatest sin by Sin created the greatest sin, wink wink, by killing off Tessa. Justice for Tessa. There will be justice for Tessa. I'm pretty certain that Jay is going to ensure that happens, because I miss my spunky Australian gal. To Danis and to Dorcas Daydreams about why Sin killed Tessa. Well, the absolute solver, which is inhabiting Sin's body, is an eldritch abomination, an eldritch deity that is hell-bent on just consuming everything. That's the vision that so many drones got. That's what we saw from Nori's kooky crazy stuff, as well as from the drone that was hiding out in the cabins who died. That there are notes explaining that this thing just wishes merely to consume. And it's totally fine for some big deity to not really have much of a plan beyond that. Sometimes some of the greatest evils, some of the most unstoppable forces, are just simply there to do one or two things, and they're so good at it, they're so overpowered at it, that's what makes them just absolutely horrifying and hard to beat. Because they're not complicated, they're very straightforward, and it's like having a train coming right at you. How do you stop a train from splattering you all over the rails? You have to figure out a way of getting onto that train, figuring it out, bringing it to a standstill without wrecking it with you while you being on it, because then that kind of defeats the purpose. That's the challenge that the heroes have when facing Absolute Solver. It's just such a huge problem, even though it's rather straightforward and simple. Roblox, staying on topic, people have been still making Gravity Falls content for years, so the same is possible for Murder Drones. Absolutely, I feel like Murder Drones will have some incredible staying power, and I do not think that Glitch is going to let it go either. Even though Liam Vickers is done with this after one season, since Glitch owns the property, and Murder Drones has been successful and popular for them. Maybe not on the same level as the Amazing Digital Circus, and that's okay, because it has still brought in tens of millions of views. It has sold excellent amounts of merchandise, and the fans are numerous. Glitch is not going to just simply let go of murder drones. It might take a little time before we get to see it pop up again, but it will very likely have some kind of staying power, not just thanks to the fans, but also thanks to Glitch Productions. Let's see here. ISO Sin is just a hungry little goober. She didn't do anything wrong. Giggle, I'm so naughty. The flesh demands invitation. You know what? Okay, now that I said that, I got to pull that on up. Let me quickly pop on over into my files. Let's see here. Let's find. Invitation. There we are.
Don't give me those eyes.
Giggle, I am so naughty. The flesh demands invitation.
Oh, that line. I absolutely love it. I love Sin. Sin is an absolute awful murder goblin, but I love her. Well, even if Murder Drone's content slows down and is still the most popular Glitch mascot for now, he absolutely is, and I don't think that's going to change really anytime soon. Imagine when Digital Circus ends, everyone watches Murder Drones. Yes, we will return to Murder Drones and continue to enjoy this fantastic series. Murder Drones is here, and it's here to stay, and it's paved the way for the amazing Digital Circus. That it absolutely did. TV Camp, but what's Meta Runner fans thought about? That's what Meta Runner fans thought too. Unfortunately for Meta Runner did not have the same internet presence had. It has been getting a resurgence thanks to how popular Glitch Productions has now become, and so more people are going back and watching Meta Runner, which might give Meta Runner a chance to kind of creep back into the zeitgeist. But because it wasn't a part of the initial wave of popularity from Murder Drones to the Amazing Digital Circus, that's why it didn't have that the original fans of the series would have wanted to see. Mojo asks, are you still hoping for the Solver's true form? I think we've already seen it. So I'm pretty certain that the crazy planet with all of the tentacles and corpses is going to be what we get to understand of Absolute Solver's true form. But that being said, an aspect of a Lovecraftian horror is that you don't understand what you're going up against. Last time we were talking about how Lovecraft feared all of these things, from fish, the ocean, to black people, and that's why he made all of these things the villains and the monsters in his stories. Like, don't be like Lovecraft, but if you want to write a Lovecraftian horror story, it must be in that vein of, I don't understand what this thing is, I can't understand what this thing is, and that's one of the things that makes it, and that's part of what makes it so horrifying. Hey, HC Animation is in the house. Great to have you here. Lover of Wolves, do you think the real Sin with Absolute Solver will come through? I would love to see that, Lover of Wolves. I have talked about this in the past, that you can tell with each one of the from Uzi to Sin to J, is that it has a small amount of its host's personality shining through. And we can even say that actually for Tessa as well. That's one of the ways that it was able to pass itself off as Tessa for a time. And so I think that we've already kind of gotten a glimpse of Sin. And because that is the case, I would love to actually see what Sin would be like with that Absolute Solver. Are we going to get that? Maybe not. Probably not, unfortunately, but I would love to see it. Because I would love to actually see cute little her, the little broken drone that just wants to be loved. I think that would be heartbreaking and cute at the same time to see come through. Dennis, I think if Murder Drones is in real life, we are all doomed. Oh yes, we're all doomed. Have you seen the dumb things humanity is capable of? This is why we stay away from real world politics, because the more you focus on that, the more you realize that maybe Absolute Solver should just destroy us all. Roblox, imagine if Sin destroys Copper 9, and at the very end of the episode, you just see the Allspark. That could happen. Lovecraftian horrors don't need to have a happy ending, so we could see that happen. Mojo, I did make fan art for its true form from a while ago. Well, fantastic. So if the Solver is killed, but Sin as the host survives, sure, it's idealistic, but we could absolutely see Sin without the Solver's possession. It's possible, all depending on how the Absolute Solver is ultimately dealt with. Yeah, I would love to see the real Sin come through again, says Mimic. Yeah, we'd all love to see that. She's so cute. Unfortunately, I don't think we're getting any of the real Tessa because that she's just a corpse. All right. So to reiterate, for those who've just jumped on, what we're going to do for tonight is we're going to talk about Murder Drones, some of the stuff that's been revealed leading up to the finale. And I think it'd also be fun to talk a little bit about intermission. And then from there, we are going to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that's recently been coming out from Gravity Falls. And if you guys want, we can touch on some of the other topics that were presented in the community post. Talking about the changing landscape of entertainment, or story through D&D, or burning the Rings of Power yet again, all depending on what people want. I saw that only one person voted for burning Rings of Power again, so maybe not. And then to TV Account's question, the lesson for the day is about vocabulary. So that's what we're all going to be doing. And because I am running a little bit late, some things might be a little bit jankier than usual. I do apologize. And of course, who knows whenever the internet's going to stab me in the back. It's been good so far today, but that could all change in the worst of ways. All right. And maybe ask, I wonder if Sin is short for cynical. Nah. Say, as far as we know, that's just her designation serial number, just like serial number N, serial number V, serial designation Sin, CYN. Roblox is down. The big problem with seeing the real Sin is the fact that we don't know what she would be like, because the first time we see her is under the Solver's possession. And that's true. We don't really know the real Sin. We can only guess based off of context clues. And I think ultimately it's one of the reasons why we won't get her, because that's something that Liam can just kind of leave hanging as something for the fans to speculate on and theorize about, and keep that little bit alive. Sometimes it's nice to not have total confirmation from the creator, because then it allows the fans to have stuff to still talk about. As much as I love Brandon Sanderson having his Words of Brandon, where he's answering all these ridiculous questions about his Cosmere universe, sometimes it's nice not to know, and to let the fans speculate, and to let the fans have real debates between each other before stepping in to say one way or the other what's going on. TV Accounts had an idea for a fan comic. Well, that's cool. Ezra says, yeah, there could actually be a whole other season of Murder Drones about Sin dealing with trauma and guilt of what she's done under Solver's possession. Fan fiction material. Yes. Mojo, the glitch store even gave a little info on the Solver. Ooh, fantastic. I'll need to check that out. Because I haven't popped onto the store in a little while, because I gotta save up money for other things. Like later this year, hopefully, if I can make it happen, heading on out to Denver for a publishers convention. That'll be fun. Mojo, in the glitch store, the Uzi acrylic stand quotes that Uzi is the host to an eternal entity. The word eternal usually means lasting or existing forever or without end or beginning. Yep, it's there in the name, and making it truly an eldritch deity. So, with all of that then being said, let's, since Mojo has already brought up some of the details that have been given to us, thanks to Glitch, if you guys have checked out some of the community posts from Glitch Productions, you'll have seen a whole bunch of little clips about things that the crew put into the background as far as foreshadowing for murder drones goes. And and we'll see if we can pull up some of that stuff here. Roblox is down. Speaking of the store, I just bought a notebook and branded pens. Oh, those branded pens! I love that they brought those on out for the story, or not for the story, but for us to consume. Because as we've learned, thanks to the amazing digital circus, sometimes in life you just get mass produced. All right, let me pull up. Let's pop on over to episode 6. Why don't we? Alrighty. Bring down the volume. All right. I wish that I could that here on StreamYard that I could blow up these images a whole lot better. But this is one of those things that they brought up of like, here in these shots, if you're paying attention, you can see clues to things that are going to happen. I do enjoy the little motivational poster of work and personal life, where the personal life is just getting absolutely dominated by the power move handshake that's happening over there to the left. Let's see here. Late stage capitalism. And then of course we got the good boys, we got the good doggos right here. Not exactly sure what the hints are here, other than that maybe late stage capitalism is kind of what helped contribute to humans manipulating stuff that they shouldn't have in regards to the drones. I mean, let's just be honest right there. A lot of these problems within the series would not have happened if the humans hadn't been stupid with their own drones. But that's its own moral quandary conversation for another time. Roblox says, have you ever noticed that the computers are boxes, but they have wireless mouses? Oh, now that you say that, I do see it. Holy cow. Man, this tech is all over the place. Mojo, as you've said in the past, Ed will be the one to defeat Sulfur. If Ed manages to kill Lovecraftian God, then that's got to be the greatest feat a robot could ever have in animation history. Oh, it will be. TV Count, I think Glitch posted these pics on their socials. They absolutely did. You can see this on their community post, and you can also see it on their Twitter /X account. I still call it Twitter because X just sounds dumb, in my personal opinion. And Elon Musk just needs to know when to let a brand idea sit by the wayside for a while. Shade, could you do a video about top 10 murder drones fan fictions? I could do that. I'll definitely need to go combing through all of the stuff out there for murder drones fan fictions. I haven't read enough to really know. And I'll be honest, these days I don't have as much time for reading fan fictions as I once did, because I'm a busy boy. TV Count says they are in better quality and probably different angles. And that's true. What I'll have to do in order to pull that up is that I'd have to go onto their accounts, and I'd have to then start. Well, let's see here. Well, maybe. Give me a second here. And popping on over. Oh, while I'm popping on over right there, let me just give you guys and this back of the stage, at least have some moving footage. And since that is something that I learned from my time in video production classes. Unless you can be like M. Night Shyamalan and make one shot last for like 30 seconds and have it be interesting, you should never just let one image sit there forever, and then just see what happens. That's a bad thing to do in the realms of video. Alrighty, so let's see here. Popping on over. Like cartoons, that helps save them. Yes, yes, we do. Okay, let's see what we can do then about sharing. So that the thing is going to be this: is that once I start sharing my screen, I lose the chat for a little while. So we shall share. Share the screen. Yeah. I know. Have two monitors, but I'm not that fancy though. Okay. So here we've already got one image. This is one of the ones that they uploaded. Here we have Nori. And this one right here is just more like look at all the fun stuff that our production crew managed to cram into this one image, where we've got the little shuriken that's off to the left, someone in the shadows. Oh, there's even a picture of sweet little Uzi up there at the top. And then we've got the different bands that Nori's been listening to: Bloodlet, Remnant, and 14. A panda bear. All of her amazingly drawn S's. There's even a little image. It's probably a little self-drawn image of her right there. J.C. Jensen in space. And then we got more little post-its right here. My Chemical Robots. Oh my gosh! Thank you guys. Thank you for putting that on. Thank you for putting that in there. Here we have a little post-it for a oh crap, for the railgun. There's what I was looking for. Just trying to escape from you. Here we are. How to be cool without looking like I'm trying to be cool. So obviously we've gotten on over here to Uzi's stuff. Copy door master key to new disk. So Uzi is a whole lot like her mother in how they use post-it notes. I think that's a cool little background detail. That's a blink and you miss it kind of a connection and moment. So that's neat. But yeah. Oh, and now we have it. This drawing from N of N with Uzi. How sweet, how nice. Best friends. And here we are, back to the work and the professional life. Sheep need vacations from their vacations. Wolves need jobs from their jobs. Yes. Oh my gosh, I need this image hanging up in my work area. But not real. I mean, this is just more fun than anything else. Here we have, the wireless mouse that's just connected to the old blocky computer. Have you seen this dog? No, I must know what this dog is. I need to see the good doggo. And then lab space. So now then, here we get a whole bunch of really weird, crazy stuff happening in this particular image. So lab space, we get the surface, let the irony of the irony of the church thing. It's what was available. We don't know what it was. It was literally just down here. I'm scared, LOL. So the church has just been existing underneath in Copper 9. Who knows what that's all about, and we'll probably never know. But it's something for the fans to continue speculating on. But it's a funny way of just hand waving. Yes, there's a cathedral down here. Don't question it. Overtime is optional. Heart. Unrelated, the singularity is actively consuming everything you hold dear. Exclamation point, exclamation point, one. Then here we have Lab Space, Cabin Fever Cathedral, and Mineshaft blueprints. Here are the blueprints that that Nori has been using to try to find where the cross went. Fun time to Universe Big Crunch. So this is an interesting little thing right here, because as far as the humans were concerned, they had 87 days until the universe ended. It's obviously been a long time since then. And so it would be interesting to know what the humans, what humanity knew before everything just went total belly up down there in the Cabin Fever labs, as what we saw in episode 7. All right. Then here's some of the other things that they're like, ooh, little Easter eggs. This was something that most people had already seen. The little icon for Absolute Solver, which has now been pointed out, seems to make a whole lot more sense now that we've seen the arms and the eye at the center of the singularity. Now the symbol makes a little bit more sense to us. Here we have Tessa. Oh man, that's just so creepy and so sad. And it has made me wonder if this wasn't a projection created by Sin to torment Uzi while she was in the Cabin Fever labs, or if Tessa / Sin was actually there and was keeping an eye on what Uzi and N were up to. And I tend to think that she actually was there in person, because when N was in the Cabin Fever labs upstairs, we see the disembodied hand crawling up on the rafters, which means that it was actually connected to Sin. Sin was somewhere there in the building, and it's probably him finding the VHS that prompted that prompted the actions on Sin's part, on Absolute Solver's part, to try to delete the memories that N and V had of what happened back at the Elliott Manor. Now that I will posit this theory, I think that everything right there was intentional, from leaving out the VHS to the erasing of the memories, because Absolute Solver needed for N, V, and Uzi to, of their own volition, have a reason to go back to Cabin Fever Labs, so that way the Absolute Solver could bring them together along with Doll, and hopefully have them all congregate together to kill them when the time was right, so that way there was no one who was in the know who could stop Absolute Solver from enacting its plan to destroy Copper 9. I think that everything that's been happening from episode 4 all the way up to episode 7 was all according to plan. As far as Absolute Solver is concerned, everything is working out perfectly, except for the fact that N managed to not get pulled down the Zarlak pit, that the keys that Sin gave Jay have fallen down to the cathedral and have been given to N, which now means that there is a chance for the heroes to actually take the fight to Absolute Solver itself up in space. I think that's the one thing I think it's the one key thing where it now all begins to go awry, and this Eldritch deity's plan to consume the planets is now gone off the rails. That's what I think is going on. Then here, it's nice to have this image blown up and made crispy, because it was so dang hard getting this as one good, clean screenshot back in the day. I tried, but it was so hard. So now we have confirmation. Everything is over. Don't look for answers. Something blank kill. Probably the light kills, because there were the warnings of don't look into the lights from all of the dead disassembly drones that have been wiped out by the Sentinels. But we have all the same crazy stuff that Nori and Uzi were drawing. Just again, confirming that very likely this poor sap had been infected with Absolute Solver and was destroyed in the process. And then here we have Tessa pulling an absolute Sin move. I will admit I totally miss this each and every time that she's got the weird hunch going on. And now that I see it pause right there, I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I miss that? That's so obvious and so silly. But of course. Whoop. Alrighty then. Justice for Braden the goat. Oh, really? I haven't been showing you guys anything? Oh my gosh. Oh wow. As I said, I don't actually get to see the chat. I don't actually get to see the chat at all when I'm attempting to show stuff. Well, that's a bit embarrassing. Okay then. Come on. Okay. Let's try this out. Let's try this again. Okay. No, you're going to give me what I actually want. Okay, then. So, you guys should be able to see it now. And again, I can't see anything from you guys. So, let me pop on over here. Excellent. There it is. I do apologize, chat. Oh, screw it. You should. Yes, I am apologizing, Scooty Booty. Okay, then. Well, there we go. That's a little bit embarrassing. But it's all better-ish now. But yeah, justice for Braden. Well, Braden's going to get justice when Absolute Solver gets destroyed. All right, so here we got it. Let me pop them back on over here. Okay, then. So allow me to go back through all this stuff again. Here we obviously have Tessa pulling an absolute sin move, and again, I'm just embarrassed that I never caught it. Look at that signature crouch. Annoyed expression playing out right there. Then here we have the sad sap from Cabin Fever Labs. And I'm so happy that they actually gave us this high resolution image, because I was trying so dang hard with my limited capacity to pull this up and make it look better in a previous video, because there is a clue, there is a warning. Matt Pow's like, ooh, there's a serial number S somewhere in here. That's not the important thing. That's all speculation. No, here we have confirmation. Everything is over. Don't go looking for answers. So don't go down to the Cabin Fever Labs. You're going to be playing into Absolute Solver's hands. The light kills, or something kills. And I think that most likely the message right there is about the light, since we know that the light was used by the Sentinels to attack and harm all of those disassembly drones that were sent to try to break into Cabin Fever Labs and complete what Absolute Solver wanted to have happen. And everything we see right there is just in line with all the other things we've seen from Nori and from Uzi. So again, confirming that this poor drone right here was at one point infected by Absolute Solver. Then, here we are back to it. Here we got Tessa, and as you guys heard me say earlier, I think that she actually was there. I think that Sin doffed off the costume and everything, had that was walking around just like this, in part to freak Uzi out if possible, but also I think to keep an eye on N and see what would happen with N. And the whole idea being was to try to jog N's memories, so that way then there would be a reason to start hacking and destroying those memories, and would then realize, oh, those memories are being dealt with. Something's got to be done to save those memories, which would then leave Uzi to patch into N and V's minds and memories, and that leads them to going back to Cabin Fever Labs, all according to plan. Absolute Solver and and Aizen should play, and Sosuke Aizen from Bleach should play chess at some point. And here we have the absolute solver I, which I remember after the pilot aired and I did my review of the pilot, I even called it out that something was happening, that Uzi was being hacked. Granted, I had a completely different theory at that time. I thought it was a third-party entity that might have been humans who supported the idea of sentient drones and were going to try to overthrow what they thought was degraded, awful humanity by empowering drones via hacking them. I was totally off, but I did realize this sign. So I was paying attention. Lars creates fanfics ideas as easily as he breathes. Yes, I do. And then, actually, before I get to there, and here we got this little message that Glitch has reposted from Matt Brawley. Like cartoons, then help save them. Join the animation workers. Yeah, support animators the best that you can. Like share the love. Get actual copies of all of the shows that you love, and we gotta show support for them. I think, but here's the thing: ultimately, Hollywood's going to axe animation. Hollywood has never cared that much for animation, and while it's going to be really bad and really sad to see a lot of people lose their jobs, this is going to absolutely reshape the indie playing field. It's been brought up before by other people that indie animation is going to kind of be the thing that starts taking over. And I think that Hollywood has unintentionally, not necessarily created their own demise, but has created an opportunity for indie creators to vastly overtake Hollywood on so many levels. And we're already seeing that here with stuff like Murder Drones, The Amazing Digital Circus, Lackadaisy, and it will just continue. And I'm also hoping that Olin Rogers manages to get Godspeed off the table, because if he can launch that show completely, Godspeed is going to be the biggest FU to Hollywood, and it will be amazing. All right, so just fun. So here's some interesting connections. Now you guys can actually see what I was talking about earlier. So here we have Nori in her little workspace, and the stuff that you see here on the wall, from Remnant to Bloodlet to the little post-it notes and drawings and everything right here, the little shuriken, all of these are things that Uzi herself likes or does in some kind of way, even if it's not quite the same thing as her mother. Like, her mother's got to do all the cool S's. When we hop on over to Uzi's workspace, we don't see any of the cool S's, but we do get to see how Uzi also likes to use post-it notes. Yay! And she's got the same kinds of sketches of Absolute Solver as her mother does, but we also get her particular band, My Chemical Robots, off there to the left. Then we've got the little thing right there, copy the door, master key to new disc, so that way she can escape. Research how to be cool without looking like I'm trying to be cool. N was here and managed to sneak in. Yeah, we've got the to-dos. Clean room, yes, Dad. Decode something programming language. I'm not exactly sure what the other thing is. There we got the to-dos. There we have the railgun, the little pew-pew. We got N's picture that he's drawn of him and Uzi right there. So all wholesome stuff. Camp 98.7. And then here we get a much better look at the workshop, or the little desk area. So work versus personal life. Of course, the work is going to consume the personal life. And then here's what I was laughing at earlier, where I said I needed sheep need vacations from their vacations. Wolves need jobs from their jobs. And I love late stage capitalism, which is effectively what took down humanity by them trying to exploit the drones. And then here's then the screenshot of all of these little details that kind of help to put events from episode 7 into perspective. So irony of the church thing, it's what was available. We don't know what it is. It was literally just down here. Yikes. 87 days to the universe being crunched, which hasn't happened. And overtime is optional, unrelated to singularities, actively consuming everything you hold dear. So put in the overtime, so that way we can try to save the world. And there you have it. All right. Okay, then. So, looking at Scott's doing great. I hope Scott's doing great. Bojo, I got a genius versus debate, absolute solver versus SCP-079. I don't know which monstrosity that one is, so I can't comment on it really well. The sun has been doing things here recently. Don't look at the sun directly. All right. So I want to know the difference between the normal solver symbol and the wavy one up at the top. We always see the wavy one when there's something eldritch taking place. Most likely the really wavy one is just an indicator of how strong absolute solver's presence, touch, and authority are in the moment. Would be my guess. I think it's really just more aesthetic than anything. But it could be an indicator specifically for what is happening right then in that moment. Iconic, you should look at the sun. And that's what the funny triangle guy told me to do. No, don't look up at the sun, especially if our Dorito Overlord has said it. I know he's really cute and cuddly, but don't just follow whatever Bill Cipher tells you to do. Get some sunglasses. Yes, please do. All right, let me quickly take a drink right here. I also got to start. Drink is good. Also got to make sure that I'm pulling on over our little lesson. Since I got that all queued up again, since I was running late here at the very beginning, and because the whole system decided to reboot itself just then at that moment, there are some things that I still unfortunately have to quickly get underway, but that's all. It's going to work out just fine for us. Okay. Now then, I think I'll take the moment, since I already showed what Glitch reposted from Matt Brawley, just to bring up the topic of the changing entertainment landscape. So aside from the fact that Hollywood is cutting a whole bunch of animators' positions and jobs and laying them off, which now means that these people are going to be in need of jobs. Their skills are going to be available now to the general public, which can be a great thing for studios like Glitch, which means that they can now get more animators. And especially with as much money as they've recently been raking in, I don't think it's unfeasible actually for them to start hiring some of these folk, and this will bring real talent. I mean, this is already real talent here. This show looks phenomenal. But imagine if you can have multiple teams working on big shows that are indie animation, but with the professionalism, the skill sets, and the quality that Hollywood has boasted, but has never made full use of. This is going to change things dramatically, because now more and more people than ever before are going to have the ability to reach out to others who can do proper animation. And even though these people are going to need money in order to make a living, to support themselves, the market value, unfortunately, is going to drive down the prices of what these people can reasonably ask for, which is not really great for them at the beginning. But if more people begin reaching out to animators and really trying to make certain projects work, even if it's really, really small stuff, this could be huge, giving these people a chance to continue on with their professions, even outside of the traditional studio setting, and allowing for people to begin transforming their stories into real animated works. Now, granted, not everyone's going to have the money on hand to make that happen, but for those who can make it happen to some reasonable level, this is going to mean just way more animation out there on the scene, which can now start grabbing people's attention and potentially leading to something big for individual creators and individual teams. More and more stories are going to have the chance to be told in a way that for many, many decades now has been the privilege of Hollywood and big name studios. TV account, thank you for correcting me. More real talent. Yes, to have more real talents there on the scenes. And imagine this, that like, I would love this. If I had the money to actually support this, I would love to actually hire on some of these fired animators and then work with other indie animators and say, okay, then I want you guys to be on the same team together, and I want you to learn from each other, support one another. Someone can bring the studio smarts to the indie creators, and the indie creators can bring that boldness, that Wild West flair, and zaniness that animation honestly needs nowadays to just elevate both sides of the equation and to do some really cool things. If I had the money to make that happen, I absolutely would. And I've even talked with a friend of mine about one particular project, which I would love to do this. There's a D&D horror story about, and this actually in a way fits in with Murder Drones because it's also an eldritch horror, is the story of Old Man Henderson. You can look it up. Old Man Henderson is an absolutely hilarious horror story from not a D&D game, but from another tabletop RPG that's set within a Lovecraftian setting. It is hilarious, and I've talked with this friend about how great it would be if we could actually write up a good full-on show for Old Man Henderson, not just the old script and story about him, but actually transform it into a show and get it animated. It would be legit. It would be horrifying and hilarious all at the same time. Camille's yeah, from Scott, Old Man Henderson is insane. It is. It is such an insane over-the-top story, and I would absolutely love to see it adapted into a full-length animated feature or into an animated series. Old Man Henderson done like The Office. That's one way of doing it. That's not the way I have envisioned, but that would work out so well. Maybe if I became president of the United States, one of the things I would make happen is have all these studios normalize animation again. Unfortunately, a president would be overstepping their boundaries to make that happen, but technically, according to the old laws of the 1930s, a president could do that. And you would be a one-term president for interfering within the industry. But yes, you legally could, but you probably shouldn't. That's enough of real-world politics right there. Shade says, this conversation reminded me of the weird state of animation. Like, I have a problem with the majority of anime fans. Forgot the majority of anime is adaptation of manga, video games, and light novels. I'm not sure how many people have forgotten that, but if they have, well, then it's time to start introducing them to the original source material, because that's what anime is ultimately there for. Anime is meant to be, in many ways, an advertisement to the audience of the original source material. If they really like the show, then they should go check out the original source material. And if they do, then there's a better chance of the show continuing if there's more material for it to be adapted. HD Animation says, indie animation is going to take over because all Hollywood has been doing is making sequels and remakes of old movies. Exactly. Yeah, here's the thing. Indie animation is not going to take over by 2025, 2026, or even 2027. And there is a chance for Hollywood to start turning things around. But if the damage continues on like it is right now, by the time that we get into the 2030s, Hollywood will be relegated to an odd corner of entertainment. It will still be very popular, it will still be very prevalent, but indie animators will actually have their time on the scenes to really just dominate with telling all these amazing stories. And it's actually a brilliant time for us novice authors to really hone our craft, to make connections with other people, and to start sharing our stories, because our stories actually now have a greater chance than ever before to make it out there to the wider public, because people are actively looking for good stories. So many, like, and this is one of the things that really bothers me when I hear this brought up again and again and again, that the reason why people don't like stories is simply because stories are woke. But the thing is that, again, as other people have said, well, what exactly is woke? It's a lot of things that people say is woke is not actually woke. A lot of things that people decide to split hairs about aren't things you should really be splitting hairs about. I don't care, for instance, in Rings of Power, that you have black elves and black dwarves. Sure, whatever. We've decided it'll be a D&D setting. And if you wanted to make it absolute fan fiction, completely reject the canon of J.R.R. Tolkien, fine. But at least make it a good show. And that's the problem, is that people have dropped Rings of Power not because it's not faithful to the lore. For nerds like me, maybe that's the case. But for a whole lot of other people, it was not an engaging, fun show. As a result, why should they continue watching it? And what people are really looking for is they're looking for good stories. But for so many years now, we've been fed slop and awfulness that in other conversations, I've talked with people around the globe who have told me that they've gotten frustrated because family, friends, and coworkers all over the world are just like, the days of good storytelling is over. Like there's really nothing new or interesting to tell. And I'm like, that's wrong. That's absolutely wrong. There's still so many great stories left to tell. We just have to learn how to tell them. We need to stop mimicking whatever Hollywood is doing, which is the problem that the publishing industry is getting into, where they're like, we must make books that will immediately be picked up by Hollywood and adhere to certain storytelling ideas and themes, rather than just telling amazing stories that people fall in love with. And then if it's worth it, investing in making a proper live action or animation adaptation. We're going about it all wrong. We need to come back to telling great stories and stop getting bent out of shape with all of these idealistic quandaries that, to be all honest, you don't need it. Gravity Falls is today considered a woke show. No one cares, because Gravity Falls is amazing. If you were to take the book 1984 by what people consider to be woke is actually a woke book, and they'd be like, clutch my pearls. No, it's not. 1984 warned me about this stuff happening. Guys, get over this. This is stupid. This is why, again, we need to stay away from modern day politics and all of its weirdness, because when you step out of that realm and actually look at a story for what it is, 1984, as dusty as it gets in its second half, is an incredible story and a very eye-opening story. Gravity Falls is an amazing story. And who cares what kinds of weirdness is in it? Because the characters are amazing, the mysteries are fun, the villains are great, and the humor is on point. Alex Hirsch and team pushed everything to the limits of what they could get away with under Disney stipulations, and their lack of freedom for what they could do made them get so creative that Gravity Falls is in a league all so. And listen to that. And while, for instance, I might not be the biggest fan of Steven Universe, there's no denying that Steven Universe has some amazing episodes with some amazing messaging, some amazing characters. The songs are catchy. So, like, guys, like, let's take these modern day arguments and chuck them out the window. Let's talk about great stories, because that's what pulls people in. If I'm not a big fan of Steven Universe, but I still really enjoy certain episodes and I love the music, that's when you know it's really good. When you can take someone who doesn't like it and actually make them like it, the story, at least certain elements of it. Okay, me getting off of my my pedestal. Darkest Daydreams. How is Gravity Falls of all things woke? There's certain things that people would label as woke messaging, especially in the second season. Is it a woke show? No, it is not. But I've been hearing that argument popping up more and more recently, and I'm like, why are we even talking about this? Let's just enjoy the show for what it is. Have you seen Batman Caped Crusader? I have not. Let's just say they did not like what they did to the Penguin. I have seen clips of Batman Caped Crusader because I haven't really sat down to watch it. I can't give my fullest opinion on it, but I did see what they did to the Penguin, and I heard some of the dialogue, and I was like, who wrote this? This is bad. Like, next time, please read your dialogue aloud, and if you cringe at it, then you've written it bad. This is a show that could probably use with the second draft. Let's see here. Oh, we got Mitchie. Yay! And great to have you here. And hi to you. Lover of Wolves. When will Hollywood learn? I don't know. I think Hollywood's in the process of learning, because even though Hollywood has actually been making some pretty decent money this year, they're still in the hole. Warner Brothers has had to write down $9 billion worth in losses. Disney is people have recently done some more calculations based off of their current purchase of Hulu. Disney has invested, and I kid you not, I've done the math myself, over $100 billion. $100 billion was sunk into Disney Plus. How do you make that money back? Where did you even get that money? That's insane. With $100 billion, we might have fed the world a couple of times over. All to create Disney Plus? There's got to be a better way. So while Hollywood has done some incredible things recently, the only way that they'll learn is when they realize that they are billions of dollars short, and that people are going to indie animation, that people are going now to self-published books, that people have realized that they can be way more creative on their own or within small groups, or working with indie creators like us here at Camille's Harem, or people over at Glitch Productions, over at Lackadaisy. There's all different kinds of great storytelling opportunities. And I think that when Hollywood finally realizes how badly they've lost out, that's when they will finally start learning and pursue good storytelling once again, and not get so wrapped up in all of these different things. I personally don't mind when a story gets ideological. In fact, I myself have been writing some of my own some ideology into some of my own stories, and that's fine. The thing is that the story still has to be good, and that it's not being preachy. And that's something that I myself have had to work on, that I can communicate a high idea without taking you, the reader, and smacking your face into my book. Understand what I'm writing. Read it. Love it. If I act like that as the author, then I've lost you. And I could even be telling you, love thy neighbor, do good to other people, obey the golden rule. And if I'm smacking you in the head with it, or across the face with it, then I'm actually not doing a good job as a storyteller. Yes, ISO, great way of putting it right there. In my opinion, there are no woke, anti-woke, or neutral shows. There's just good shows, decent shows, and bad shows. We shouldn't judge on woke, anti-woke, or anti-woke. We should judge by good or bad. Fantastic. I love it. Amen. Tie a bow on that. Let's see here. Mimic says, I think Gravity Falls did such an amazing job exposing the Illuminati in plain sight with great writing, great character development, and great animation. Gravity Falls is an amazing show. Amen. 100%. Ooh, I'm Omega's chimed in right here. Honestly, the theories and fusions are what got me into Steven Universe. Fantastic. It was actually, I think, the first episode of what's the first episode of Gravity Falls I watched? Gravity Falls of Steven Universe. I think one of the fusion episodes was the first episode that I ever saw of Steven Universe. It's been so long. The Owl House is great, and Infinity Train as well. HC Animation, I absolutely agree with you. Infinity Train, great. The Owl House was great. Shade says Batman Cape procedure is trash. Do not watch it. I hate it. Camille's harem. So Scott, we also have to understand the definition of woke changes as our cultures change. So it's always a moving target. Yes. Absolutely. So don't play. Another reason not to play with modern politics and modern themes, other than for like stuff in the moment. And I think sometimes it's okay to write dated stuff, because you know what, if you're a creator and you've got to create, sometimes you just got to make what's the easiest thing to do. Is it the best thing? No. And we also have to understand as creators and as consumers of entertainment that you're not always going to get a 3-course feast with every story. In fact, actually, if I were to be honest about Murder Drones is more of a 1-course feast. It's a fantastic feast, but it's not everything. It's not there yet. It's better than a lot of other stuff. I was just recently in a comment on one of our videos. I was bringing up how like I personally enjoy Kokoro Connect. Kokoro Connect is like going out and buying McDonald's food. It is delicious in the moment and leaves you with a stomachache afterwards. And that's okay. But you've got to diversify what you're consuming in order to be healthy as an individual. And it's the same thing with entertainment. It's great to watch the classics and the great stuff, but it's okay to watch some garbage and enjoy a little bit of garbage here and there. And it's fine to just enjoy a simply good story. Watching, for instance, the movie The Fall Guy. The Fall Guy is not a brilliant movie, but it is such a fun movie. I'll continue watching that movie because it's just so much fun. And sometimes that's just what you need. Let's see here. I got the question from Mojo. Do you think N will die in episode 8? I don't think so. I still hold to my opinion and my theory that N will kind of be the lone survivor of it all. So that's what I think. How that's all going to play out, I mean, really, who knows? Andy says, "Hey, end and sad." No, I don't know if the ending is necessarily going to be sad for Murder Drones. I think it's going to be bittersweet. If there's any way that the show is most likely to end, it's most likely going to end with a bittersweet note. Characters of great importance are going to die. I think that we're going to see Uzi really patch up her relationship with her father and her mother before something awful happens. I think that V will return, but she will never be the V. She won't be the V that we remember her to be. I think we're going to get stuck with an Eldritch Abomination V, which is better than no V, but it's kind of sad for V. And I think that there is a good chance that Uzi might die. Do I want her to die? Absolutely not. But there's the possibility for that in the last episode. And is there a chance for N to die in the last episode? Yeah, but I actually don't see it as prominently as for a character like Uzi, who is, again, the hero's journey in an Eldritch story, not an Eldritch, but in a Lovecraftian story, doesn't always turn out well. And so, for instance, when Matt Pat brought up like how the showing in the very opening scene of Murder Drones has the hero's journey, he's like, oh, the hero's journey already tells us how the show is going to end. I disagreed with him because this is a Lovecraftian story, and Lovecraftian stories change the way that things go, because horror doesn't always necessarily end happily. Sometimes it has a quote-unquote happy ending, like watching The Woman in Black, where the main character, even though he's killed, gets to move on to heaven, while all of her other victims remain in purgatory or hell. But is it really a happy ending because the main character got killed? And so I feel like that's the kind of ending that we're going to be grappling with when we get to the end of Murder Drones. It's going to be nuanced. It's going to be bittersweet. If it's really happy, then hey, it's really happy. Awesome. Is it going to be super sad? I don't think so. I think it's going to be bittersweet. HA Animation says I really recently bought Murder Drones merch from the Glitch store because I love the show so much and I want to support them. That's a great thing to do. I'm looking forward to getting the last to getting the Uzi and N acrylic panels to add to my V acrylic panel because I want to have that. I want to have the whole trio right there. And I've got my plushies. I love me my plushies. Lover Wolf says N is going to be the next sacrifice. I just hope it's like Uzi's sacrifice where we think she's dead, but somehow manages to survive. That would be very interesting to see. And I could see that if N is the one that goes into Absolute Solver itself. This goes like months back to one other live stream. But we were once speculating about what if N is the one who goes into Absolute Solver ultimately to destroy it. And like that's where we actually get to meet Sin, is in Absolute Solver. Since all of the personalities and victims have basically been brought into a grand amalgamation that Absolute Solver can use at will. Then Moja says, N is not the hero the universe wants, nor the hero the universe needs, but it's the hero that the universe gets. That's great. Service said there's something on Liam's Discord. Oh, interesting. HT Animation, so you have a favorite Murder Drones character and or episode? I do. My favorite characters, and V is a close second. And my favorite episode is Home, episode 5. Even though I know that there's a lot of people who don't like episode 5, I love episode 5. And episode 5 actually kind of reminds me a lot of watching sock opera from Gravity Falls. Like if that's your first introduction to the series, you're like, what the heck is going on? But you're introduced to all the main characters, to the main villain, and you're thrown right into the thick of things, just like with sock opera. Roblox, do I want Uzi to die? Absolutely. Are you expecting me to say not? Great. Shade says Jujutsu Kaisen X Murder Drones will be the perfect fan fiction. If you disagree with me, fight me. Both will have sad endings. Oh, oof. Mojo, yes, apparently someone discovered that Solver has already wiped out all the planets that had humans on it. Copper 9 is actually the last one. And that makes good sense because of the map that we saw from episode 6 showing all of the places that Absolute Solver has already confirmed to us the destruction of all those other planets that were basically on its list of places to destroy. AC Animation, I love episode 5 too. Fantastic. ISO, it was the pacing in episode 5 for me, but then again, the pacing in episode 4 wasn't the best either. And episode 4 is my favorite episode. So yeah, I understand completely. And here's the thing. Again, Murder Drones is not the perfect show. And when I do the ultimate retrospective on Murder Drones, I will be very honest about the things that Liam Vickers and Glitch could have done better. In fact, again, in conversations I just had today with people talking about Murder Drones Intermission and what it presented as a potential canon story within the series between episodes 4 and 5, what it made me realize was something I had not thought of before, that perhaps Murder Drones would have been best if it had been split into 2 seasons. Don't necessarily add on another season after episode 8, but rather transform what we have in episodes 1 through 8 into 2 seasons by giving us the weighty episodes. Each episode is pretty weighty in its own way, and have episodes 1 through 4 be like the weighty episodes, and then have 4 or 5 other episodes within that season that are more lighthearted, that allow us to get to know more about these characters and see their interactions and their relationships, while having the presence of Absolute Solver be in the background to provide context clues and context horror to build up those spookier, more heavier moments in the canon episodes 1 through 4. then do the same thing for season 2 with episodes 5 through 8. And I think that if they had gone that route, you could have then had 2 awesome seasons of Murder Drones, and you would have had excellent character development for everyone. And we could have had those moments where Uzi's learning how to use her powers, where we get to see V hanging out with Lizzie doing things and actually further solidify that relationship. Maybe give Thad a little bit more of a presence within the story, since he is such a fan favorite that Liam forgot along the way, as well as playing up more of the vampiric elements of the murder, solve the problem of the fact that she has to consume oil. And where's she going to get all of that oil? Does that mean she goes back and ransacks Doll's place because of all the oil that's been cooking there? Maybe. So there's all these things that could be done if they had taken the one season split into 2. Is that necessarily the right thing to have done? I don't know. I think that it would have been the better thing to do. But because I don't know everything that's going on at Glitch Productions with what they have for their schedule, or even what Liam himself fought for, since they gave Liam so much creative freedom, this is ultimately Liam's choice. Like, this is the best that we could get of Liam's vision. I think that if someone was there to have looked at all of Liam's episodes and then said, hey man, this is excellent, but what if we did this? And again, granted, they didn't know how well Murder Drones was going to take off. Murder Drones' pilot episode did not ensure that there would be a full season. It was thanks to its excellent reception online that Glitch Studios was able to procure the funding to make a full season of Murder Drones. And so there's other elements behind the scenes that they had to work with to realize what they could and they couldn't do. So I think with what they thought that they could do, they did an excellent job. But with hindsight being 2020, it's very clear that there's so many things that they could have still fixed to make Murder Drones a absolute double chef's kiss story, 100% out of 100%. And so that will be stuff to get into with a full retrospective. Again, absolutely love this series. At this point, like, it's me looking for things to be overly critical about. Because we want to take a great story. We want to take let's see here. Murder Drones is like a good to great story, and we'd love to see it go from between good and great to a truly great story. I think it's probably the best way of describing it, or of me putting into words what my brain is right now firing off on. So TV Cam, the only flaw was the show should have gotten more episodes. Again, yeah. And that'll be something to dive into later. HC Animation says Intermission was so good, probably the best thing the fans have made. It is one of the best things that the fans have made. And it's great to see that other fans are coming up with their own little side stories and little original spin-offs. And I think if we give them more time to cook, we might see some really, really great stuff. But absolutely, as of right now, Intermission is the best thing that we've seen in terms of a big fan project for Murder Drones. Then Mimic says, I'm sure that the robot who loves to text a lot forgot her name, Lizzie. I have a feeling she might survive all of this too. Forever possessed by the entity of texting. Absolute Solver's got nothing on that. Yes, Lizzie will survive. She's cool. She's too cool to die. I was going to finish our intermission review after this. Fantastic. Hey, you know what? It's totally okay. Whenever you're able to watch it, that's fine by me. Lover Wolves have asked, have you also seen the fan animation by Moro Murder Drones versus Hell of a Boss? I began watching that, Lover of Wolves. I haven't yet finished it. I started watching it, I got distracted, and then never picked it up again, and that's on me. So I need to go back and finish it. Shade says, absolute Sulfur, camper to the other Lovercraft entity, who you think he's skill is. He is high tier, low tier, how friends or enemies you will have. I think the fire spirit, the other father fire vampires will be friends. Shade, I think that a lot of different ideas collided right there, so I'm not exactly sure what you were going for. But I do believe that Absolute Solver is absolutely hanging out there with a lot of other Eldritch entities within the greater pantheon of the universe. And if we got more of this show, we would probably be exploring that. Uh, uh, Goosey for Lucy, hey, just joined. Fantastic, great to have you here. Roblox is down. Have you noticed that Tessa's body still functions while being stuffed by sin? That would imply that the body itself is still alive, and TV Count says that's scary. Yes, and that's horrifying. And again, Absolute Solver, because it brings everything into itself, this actually makes absolute sense that you have this corpse that has been animated, that is being kept alive in some kind of way by the entity in order for it to do the things that it needs to do to get past all of the security measures that the humans impose on the Cabin Fever labs. And again, if I'm right in my theory that N or possibly Uzi will be one of the ones to go into Absolute Solver to confront it and kill it from within, I think it's very likely that we will get to see some of the personalities or ghosts that have been consumed and assimilated by Absolute Solver within itself. And that would be really awesome to see. It would be also very tragic and very horrifying. You don't want to think about that for too long, in all honesty. But that would be really, really awesome to see go down. Absolute Solver gets sent to the Thera Prism after N kills it. Yes. Oh, but I don't think that Absolute Solver or Bill should spend any time together, because they would absolutely find a way to break out of the Thera Prism. Overwolves, I am tired of this dream. Will it ever end for me? This is what the fandom will feel like after episode 8. Oof. Oh, be still my heart. Honestly, Lovecraft's prejudice mindset was much more horrifying than his stories, frankly. Yes. So, like, Voltaire is way more creepy than some of the stuff that he does. Let's be honest. Drudge Kasai, sorry. I'm going to try to pronounce your name more slowly so I hopefully get it right. Jiraj Kazi says, could see a moment where N, after sacrificing himself, talks to Sin. Yeah, that'd be really cool to see. N is so puppy. No more context. N is the goodest good boy. He is a puppy. TV Count, have you checked out the frame-by-frame review for Murder Drones episode 5? It was really crazy. I have not. TV Count, I didn't even know that existed. That would be interesting to watch. N will go to dog heaven after he dies because he is a dog. Yes, because all dogs go to heaven. N would be the goodest of good dogs who goes to heaven. And the best thing is this, because he's got hands, he'll be able to open up all the cans and bags of dog food for all the other dogs up there in heaven. This is brilliant. All right. So let's start shifting gears here, because I mean we can talk about murder drones for hours upon hours, and that'd be absolutely fine and fun. But we do also want to, at least I want to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that we've been getting from the most recent developments regarding Gravity Falls. And I want to introduce you guys. So again, I'll be sharing my screen. Hopefully the screen shares properly this time. I want to show you guys something really neat that you yourselves can then go and check out and see what you think. But let me just quickly wrap up what you guys have written right here. It's over an hour in text only. Oof, wow, that's a lot. Michael Lewin, hey, great to have you here, Michael. There's a lot of dog Easter eggs. Makes me wonder if Liam's next story will have those, or even about dogs in space. You know what? I want Liam Vickers' next story to be the continuation of Internecian Cube. That's what I want. Shay says, I'm trying to say, compared to other Lovecraft, how strong and who do you think will be his friend or enemy? I think that within the pantheon of eldritch entities and deities, I actually think that Absolute Solver would largely be hated by most of them, just because it's so aggressive and active. And a lot of the other eldritch entities would definitely not be too okay with that, because it would interfere with whatever their plans are, with what kinds of worship they are receiving, or it would just wake them up and annoy them. Like Cthulhu. Cthulhu just wants to sleep. The only reason why Cthulhu does anything is because people wake him up. Hastur would probably be really annoyed with Absolute Solver. That's about the extent of my knowledge of the greater pantheon. I know that there's like scores of them. But they would all probably mistrust Absolute Solver, because Absolute Solver would also probably try to eat all of them at one point or another. Mojo, would you do one last live stream about murder drones the day before episode 8 releases, or would you live stream on the 23rd of watching all the episodes until episode 8 releases? Ooh, that's an excellent question there, Mojo. Let's see here. The 23rd is on a Friday. Fridays when we normally do our live streams. That would all depend. I think it would be fun to do a live stream where we get to watch all of the episodes leading up to episode 8 and then immediately discuss it afterwards. The one thing is this: my writing schedule is really, really busy. So if I try to make that happen, I would have to make sure that I plan well in advance to meet my writing obligations as well as other things I have to do, and then really set that day aside. Then I could make that happen. So I'm not going to make any promises right now. That'll be something for me to think about, and then I will let people know as we get closer to the 23rd what we will actually do. I think it'd be cool to do a full live stream. That would also be a lot of sitting on my part, so we'll just have to see what happens. Also, I want to make sure I don't get copyright struck by Glitch Productions, because they're great at allowing me to do what I do and not get in trouble with them, and I don't want to completely take advantage of them. So we'll just see. But it would be great to get a large. Oh my gosh, I'm already imagining getting a large bag of popcorn. I can go to Harkins. I can get the 10-gallon bag of popcorn. Oh, Harkins Theaters has the best movie popcorn. I've been all over the place, and there's no chain that has better movie popcorn than Harkins. HA Animation says, I love that Glitch is helping other indie projects like Lackadaisy with their merch so that they can focus on their projects without having to worry. Amen. I love it. I think it's so great that they're going out of their way to help other creators, and this is a massive boon for Lackadaisy. It 100% is. This will really help them out, especially in keeping up with a better time schedule for the release of their episodes, so that way they don't lose relevancy in the long run. And I actually have, thanks to the Kickstarter, I just got my copies of the Lackadaisy comics in hardcover, and they are gorgeous. So I've done my project 1 year later as more money hopefully comes rolling on in. Which again is actually in part thanks to you guys. Since you guys have helped us get up to 10,000 subscribers, there's now a better chance for us to pick up sponsors in the future. We just have to make sure that our videos get to a certain amount of thousands of views, which is difficult. It's hard to make that happen because you got to make something that people really, really like. And if you can, then you can get all those thousands of views, and the sponsors take notice of you. Say, we've gotten to the subscriber count thanks to you guys. You guys have been awesome. Now it's incumbent upon us as Camille's harem to actually now deliver the goods and try to bring home the bacon. Roblox is down, says, imagine Sin wins and we get an Avengers Infinity War moment where Sin is just an imaginary world. You see Butler and say, who says, did you win? Sin, yes. And at what cost? Sin. Everything. The end. Oh, I hate that and love that ending at the same time, Roblox. That is genius. That is evil genius. Mimic, there was a poster of 2 dogs in one of the scenes in the new Murder Drones trailer. Definitely a lot of doggy symbolism for sure. Also, Sin and sort of act like adorable puppies themselves. One good puppy, one very naughty puppy. Goosey for Lucy, dogs in space. Wait a minute. What if N is a dog in a drone costume? Now that would be a great twist. Shade, my favorite pair are what I meant. Love it. You are a psychopath controlling the world. I love you, Bill Cipher. Drige Kazi, how horrific it would be to see N is just a mutilated man underneath the suit. Oh, I don't want to think about that. Lover of Wolves. Gonna have to rewatch the entire series before episode 8 comes out. Absolutely. I intend to do the same. Should I do theory videos about the best theories before the ending comes? If I have the time, I will. I can see if I can make that happen. Lover of Wolves, do you think they'll release a clip of Murder Drones episode 8 on August 6th since it's an indie animation day and also Friday since Glitch releases something in that day? I feel like it. That's what I feel like it. What's how I feel like it? I feel like that could happen. That would be really, really awesome. And I hope that they've got a cool announcement for that day as well. Maybe they might. I don't know when they're going to give us anything for the Gaslight District, but I think that very soon we can expect to start hearing news about the Gaslight District. At the very least, getting an idea of what they're doing in production, just to whip up excitement for that show. Mimic Yeah, Cthulhu is just an angry stressed out dad that doesn't want anyone to disturb his sleep. He has another hard day at work tomorrow, folks. Yeah, don't disturb Cthulhu. He works hard. Mojo, did you know the worker drones actually do use money and simply don't use everything in Outpost 3 for free? Oh, I did not know that. That makes sense. I mean, work and pay go well together. If you're not receiving some kind of reward for your work, then why are you working? Shade, I absolutely think Solver will have a good time with Lovecraft Gods and Bloodborne and Elden Ring. I'm Omega. I place a suggestion to Betsy Lee, creator of No Evil, about Glitch's collaboration initiative during one of her live streams. Hey, fantastic. I hope that she reaches on out to them and that something gets going. I think that, again, if more indie creators kind of team up, even if they're not in the same studio together, but that they collaborate kind of as a loosey-goosey guild. Sorry, Lucifer Goosey, that I'm using your name right there. That it will, I think that will lead to actually some really great developments. Alrighty. So, to TV count, what is the Theraprism or the Theraprison? So, at the end of the Book of Bill, we learn about what happened to Bill. That Bill Cipher after Bill Cipher was destroyed by Grunkles, Stan, and Ford, that he did his chant. Where he says, Axolotl, my time has come to burn. I invoke the ancient power that I may return. And he then, when he gets punched and blasted away by Stanley, we get this neat encounter between Bill and the Axolotl. Let me see if I can pull that up right here from the book again. Got to get to the right page. There's him possessing Stanley, which is possessing Stanford, which is hilarious. Come on. All right, here it is. I knew it was towards the end. Okay. So here we then have, towards the end of the Book of Bill, the poem that tells us exactly what went down. On the day Bill Cipher died, he used the trick he had never tried. Shattered, broken, not yet dead, Cipher left the con man's head. A desperate plea, some panicked prayers to meet the frilled guy upstairs. In a tank outside of space, the opposites met face to face. Just when shot to live again, he pled his case to his old friend. Look, from one god to another, who cares? I tried to kill those brothers. They're all ants. It's all a game. Let's press restart and try again. I'm too cool and fun to die. Just give this angle one more try. The axe sighed in a knowing way. He expected this was what Bill'd say. You cannot regrow through denial. You'll have to face my hardest trial. See my program to the end, then you may yet live again. Am I fighting demons? Eating ghosts? You're getting what you need the most. One way to absolve your crimes, to change your form, will take some time. Bill could not believe his luck. This salamander was a schmuck. Easier than he'd ever thought it. He faked remorse. The guppy bought it. In combat, Bill was undefeated. Whatever challenge, he could beat it. Bill shook the axe's hand with glee. How bad could these trials be? And then this Dr. Seuss poem leads us right to dimension number 5150, neutral zone outside of time. Welcome to Theraprism, where a wounded Bill Cipher, who is glitching out, is hanging out with Satan from Dante's Inferno, a time wizard, an evil cube, a floating ear, the core from Amphibia, and Cthulhu are all hanging out in mandatory therapy. Patient named Bill Cipher referred by the axolotl crimes against reality, including memory laundering, breaking and entering the fabric of spacetime, chrono-infantile regicide, meaning that he killed Space Baby, multi-level marketing, yes, hate that multi-level marketing, psychic torture, the second dimension incident, and Weird Mageddon. Recommendation, indefinite karmic rehabilitation. For all eternity, he must try to change. Don't forget about Kronos. You're right. Oh, wait, you're right. No, thank you, I'm Omega. Thank you for correcting me right there. I was wrong. This actually isn't Satan from the inner circle of hell. It is Kronos. I got it wrong because the depiction of Satan in hell is also of him eating traitors, and it looks somewhat similar, but you're right, because the Satan, as I should have remembered from Dante's Inferno, has 3 heads. This guy only has 1, therefore it's Kronos. You're absolutely right. Thank you for correcting me. I'm Omega. Lover Wolf, someone asked in Glitch In, will there be a kiss scene, by the way? A crew member answered, not telling, just wait, like 2 more weeks. Yes. We'll see about any kiss scene. I've said before, I think it'd be a whole lot cuter to actually see another spark moment. But then again, the spark moment is something really special between N and V. So I don't know if we'd actually see that again, because it'd be kind of sad to kind of take that moment away from that. That's my personal opinion. As a foreigner, I don't. Jiraj Kazi says, as a foreigner, I don't think. As a foreigner, I do not know much about Gravity Falls. May I get a recap? Okay, then. Thank you. Sorry about that, Jiraj, since I missed that comment of yours. So, Gravity Falls, to help explain this, is a show about twins, Dipper and Mabel Pines, who are sent upstate to Oregon, to Gravity Falls, Oregon, a tourist trap town that's in a really weird place, to spend the summer with their great uncle, Grunkle Stan, who owns this tourist trap place called the Mystery Shack. And it seems like it's just going to be a really bad summer until Dipper discovers a book hidden inside of a metal tree that says that you can't trust anyone in Gravity Falls. And through the book, he believes that he has clues indicating that Mabel's new boyfriend in Gravity Falls is a zombie. And so in his attempt to solve this mystery and to prove that his sister is dating a zombie, all of a domino effect is started, and the Pines family, Dipper, Mabel, and Grunkle Stan, along with their friends, are pulled into larger and larger mysteries that reveal the past behind Gravity Falls, what is actually happening here in this town, and that there's all kinds of forces that are leading the way to Armageddon, or the end of the universe if the great demon Bill Cipher is fully unleashed from his prison. So that's the story in a nutshell. There's so much that happens. I would highly recommend checking it out if you can. If you happen to have access to Disney Plus, you should be able to watch it there. You're going to be out of luck. I was lucky enough to get my hands on the physical copy of Gravity Falls, the limited time DVD edition, which is excellent to have. But to my knowledge, Disney cut off the production of that DVD. They might have brought it up again since publishing the Book of Bill, but I haven't checked. So that's a quick rundown of the story right there. TV account. I can see Absolute Solver face the trials of therapy and maybe succeeding and getting an unexpected reward. Yeah, it gets reincarnated this time into actual sin and has to now live out its life as Sin 2.0. I don't want to know. I guess it depends on the robots. There's shows and movies that explore that. Lover of Wolves, is there anything? Is there anything to is if there's anything I look forward to in the finale is one big final battle. Yes, that's what I'm looking forward to. And Dryge, I'm happy I could do that for you. Sorry for missing that comment of yours earlier. So that's what's happened to Bill Cipher. What we learn as the book goes on towards the end is that the book that you're currently holding is a book that Bill made during arts and crafts time and that he then sent to the Pines to torment them. And that this book can go to any other reader. That this book is drawn to other people who might take the opportunity to unleash Bill Cipher. However, if you read the book in its entirety, or if you don't read the book, you end up destroying your deal with Bill Cipher, and he's unable to escape. However, at the very, very end of the book, we get this ominous promise from Bill Cipher as he's shattering, as he's breaking apart. He says, "Fine, is that what you want to see? Are you happy now? This is where they stuck me. An overly medicated Kafka-esque hellhole with loser-tier villains from every reality. Until I learned some kind of lesson. I thought you'd have the stomach to break me out early, but you turned out like all the rest. Just like my worthless henchmaniacs who haven't called. Just like my miserable family who tried to snuff out my talents. Just like Sixer who ruined my shot at liberating reality. Fine, have it your way. What have I learned in therapy? Nothing. This dumb rock can't keep me contained forever. I don't need 1 million followers. I just need one. It's only a matter of time. And I have all the time in the world. There's always another human. Someone else will pick up the book. Someone will shake my hand. One day, when you least suspect it, I'll be back. As for you, you betrayed me. I'm severing our connection and cutting out our best memories. Snip, snip. Remember the chapter about the triangle? No? Good. It's already working. Soon this will all seem like a dream. You won't be seeing me, but I'll be seeing you. Because no matter what the idiot counselors in this smiling cage say, I don't need anyone. I never have, and I don't miss any of them. I'm fine. I'm fine. Someday, someone will let me out. And the last page is right out of the show and right out of The Hunt for Bill, where you get to see Bill's statue reaching out its hand to offer you a deal, and his eye is glowing. And the hunt for Bill is back on. Maybe not the hunt for his body like it once was, but a hunt to find out what he's doing. What is he up to? He says he's got one more plan. He needs one more deal. Has someone taken that deal? Because something is going on. And I'm going to show you guys what was now playing out and what the Gravity Falls community is trying to solve. Hey, Chloe's made it. Great to have you here. So Bill Cipher breaks up with his boyfriend's topped up tragedies. Chloe asks, what the heck is happening? We are getting into what has happened with Bill Cipher. HC Animation says, I got to go soon because my phone is going to die, but I love the stream. I'm going to finish watching it later. Hey, HC Animation, thank you so much for being here. It was great having you here. Mojo, an interesting versus matchup for Bill would be Godzilla Ultima. It would be interesting. So please share, Mr. Lars. Yes, let's finally get to it. So we're going to share the screen. Yeah, I know. Which one do we want? We want to have, so select the window. We're going to do Mozilla Firefox. This is going to look really creepy for a moment, and here we go. This is it. So if you want to see what is currently going on, this website keeps changing. It changes with more and more discoveries as the fans decrypt the Book of Bill and discover more things. Within the Book of Bill, there is a reference that if the book is lost and you need to return it, go to this website. The website you see is right up here. This is not a website.com. This website once looked very different. It was kind of a blank thing that, if depending on what you put into it, you would get a countdown, or you could get a random message. However, now things have changed. We're now in a creepy lab. The Book of Bill has been stabbed with a Cipher blade, and there's blood coming out of it. That's kind of creepy. We have the symbol of from the oh crud, why am I suddenly forgetting the name of the cult? It is unseen with Blind Ivan. Why am I forgetting the name of the cult? I can even quote the freaking episode. Hopefully one of you guys will rescue me here in the chat. Any case, you've got the cult right here doing their own. Yes, it's the Society of the Blind Eye. Thank you very much. Wow, I can't believe I forgot that. We've been going on for nearly 2 hours. My brain's turning to mush. So we have the symbol for the Society of the Blind Eye. You have an eye being preserved in liquid. We have the icons of Bill Cipher, which, if you read Journal 3, you learn that all of these icons were destroyed. But now they're coming back. Is someone else collecting them? Who knows? But here we have from McGucket Labs, we have this thing right here. Now then, I'm going to type some stuff on in, and we're going to see what we get. You ready? First things first. I'm typing in MatPat. MatPat has abandoned us. Oh no! And I'm sad to say it. I really feel like film theory and game theory have taken a downturn ever since MatPat decided to take the producer's role. I'm just going to say I miss MatPat. Even though he and I didn't always see eye to eye, he was a great constant on the internet. All right, let's check out something else. Dorito for our Dorito Overlord. All right. So, I want to hear from you guys. What should I type in next into our little machine right here? Roblox, no wonder he retired. He retired because he can't solve the Book of Bill. Mimic says it's kind of funny that Mr. Lars is talking a lot about Glitch Studios today, and this stream glitches from time to time. Maybe Uzi is bored as heck and is having a field day hacking his stream. It's just my internet. My internet connection is weird. Try Axolotl. Okay, then let's try out Axolotl in this right here. Axolotl. You ask a lot of questions. A lot of questions. So we ask ourselves a lot of questions. Let me try Sixer. Oh, I actually didn't know that this would happen. Case report. So voluntary discharge. Case report. Wow. So Stanford performed extremely well on reflex, cognitive, on IQ, and every other test we could think of. We even tried to give him a placebo, and he tasted it, chuckled, spat out, and said, "Oh, please." He then amazed the team by playing Flight of the Bumblebee on the piano in our lobby. Honestly, I can't call this a disability. This is a hyper ability. He did finger puppets depicting the sinking of the Titanic, and everyone was spellbound. We might be looking at the next evolution in the human species. If I could kidnap him and bring him to our secret cloning lab. Oops, haha, I've said too much. Finger donor. Let's see here. The photo was ripped out. Scenery, polydactyl, ambidextrous. Of course, he'd be ambidextrous. So he got this when he was 18, not when he was a little kid. So he was already pretty much a genius by that point. That's really cool. Okay, what else should I put in? Jiraj asks, why has the man got 6 fingers? So, Jiraj, as I wait for someone else to tell me what else I should put in next. What we learn from journal number 3 and from some of the conversations later on in the series, weirdness just happens. And all things weird, for whatever reason, get pulled to Gravity Falls. Now then, he's got 6 fingers, which immediately makes him weird. Therefore, he's pulled to Gravity Falls. And his 6 fingers makes him just feel like a freak. And so the things that he does to try himself not seem like a freak or to try to live up to his freak status are integral to some of the horrifying things that happen in Gravity Falls. It's some cool stuff. And I'm kind of giving you some spoilers here, but it's definitely worth watching. Grunkle Stan is a clone. No, he's not a clone because this is when he was 18 that this happened. So we know that Stan is not a clone. Stan is the original. Yay. Try Stan or Stanford's parents' names. Try Stanley. Let's try out Stanley next. Oh, I got taken to brass knuckles. See if you guys got. See if that chest right over. Yep, brass knuckles. Okay then, that's pretty cool. All right then, let's try Stanford. Okay, come back to Sixer. Let's see here. We'll do Pines. A good family tree. Let's see here. What next? If I put in Bill, I get taken to a triangle. Let's see. What else did you guys like? Let's see. So we did the Pines. Try Stanley again. Okay. So let's try. Let's see what happens if I put in Stanley again. I get to gold chains for old men. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. Wait. Let's see. Let's again do Stanley, and let's see if we get the ponytails. Dogs playing poker. Oh my gosh, this is great. Oh my gosh, this is so much fun to play around with. Who else did you guys like to? Let's see. I saw 666 get put on in there. We'll try the ultimate sign of evil. Nothing. Very, very interesting right there. Try typing English or Spanish. You know, like actual. Let's see here. I'll put in English. Nothing. Spanish. So it's got to be a specific word that will react to what we've got going on here. Try Wendy. What's up, Cursed Book? I got a totally legit way to ward off evil triangles, and I wrote it in the bottom right corner of the book. It's totally worth it. I promise. Stay cool, dork. Oh, thank you, Wendy. That's absolutely a Wendy thing to do. But let's. Oh. Huh. Oh, there's a little something to dive into. There's a message. There's a message to be decoded from the book. Thank you, Wendy. Also, Wendy's going to slug you the next time she sees you. Let's try Zeus. Sup, dude? Zeus here. Or as I call myself now, Mr. Mystery. I also call myself Zeus, too, because that's still my name, dude. Okay, so first, the ghost. Tad Strange is totally crushing on Woodpecker Guy. I ship it, dude. I ship it hard. Anyway, Mabel wanted me to write about the Triangle Guy. Dog, homie is bad news. Never trust a bro who can climb inside of your brain. And his book is sus, and to be quite frank, mid. I looked inside and just saw glitches in the word he's uncorruptible. What's that supposed to mean? At least holding the book made me look kind of smart, so 1 out of 5 stars, I guess. Anyway, Mabel told me to keep it brief, which is no problem for me. I love brevity, but I can't get enough of it. Being succinct is like super easy for me, and for some reason, I guess it's like a gift. Don't get me started on pithiness, let alone, oh dang, like I'm running out of paper. Well, what's it? That's what tape is for, bro. Solved. What are we going to talk about? Oh, yeah, my life as a chief proprietor, tour guide, scam, imagineer, Mr. Pines' phrase, of the Mystery Shack. Running this place is an actual dream come true. To stop from pinching myself, I asked old man McGucket to invent a pinch bot, but then it got loose and went on a pinching spree and had to be put down. Wild times. What's the shack like without Mr. Pines? Well, it's got a lot more laser tag, and questioning is back and more questionable than ever. Turns out all he needed was pants. Every day I get to regale the children with yarns of enchantment and lore, and Melody sets up this dope training that goes through the redwoods carrying baby goats. We're doing like so good, knock on wood, but we're always saying jinx after each other and like anticipating each other's emotional needs. Maybe that might be some little Seuslets on the way. Wink. Oh boy, Zeus getting it on. Mr. Pines is going to be away at sea for a while, but he promised to not send me any postcards, which meant a lot to me, dude. Dude's a real one. Anyway, I gotta go get some lotion for my cheeks. Abuelita and Melody have been pinching me at the same time a lot, and it's starting to become a problem. Look what I gotta deal with over here. Sheesh, stay cool, and if you're ever in Oregon, stop by the Mystery Shack to see the local world record holder for the world's happiest dude, me. Zeus, Mr. Mystery Ramirez. P.S. Don't tell Ford that I got pudding on his cursed book, like he's always putting there, telling me to lick here. P.P.S. Did you know you can turn any spoon into a spork with a few simple adjustments? I'll show you how anytime, dude. P.P.S. If you see Bill, cover your head in tin foil and bring some ninja stars and a bat in case he ever acquires human flesh, or in case you see a pinata. Oh, I love this. I'm absolutely loving this. Try journal 1 through 3. Okay. That's a powerful quote from Zeus. And Zeus getting it on? Zeus is going to have little Seuslets? I don't know if the world is ready for that kind of wholesomeness, but maybe it's the wholesomeness that we need. Okay. Let's see here. We'll try journal 3. The journal for me. Oh. Let's try journal number 1. The journal of fun. Whoop. Spell journal correctly. Journal number 2. The journal for you. So the journal for fun, the journal for you, and the journal for me. Very interesting. All right. I was told to put in capitalism. Let's see what capitalism gets us. Nothing for capitalism. Let's try Illuminati. Nothing for Illuminati. Well, let's try blind eye. Oh, WKH boo, VAH boo, do, boo, voodoo. There's a lot of voodoo going on right here. Well, I can see everything just fine, so I guess I'm not blind. You know what? There's probably actually an extra code. Oh, there we go. Now it's all fuzzy. Gets even fuzzier. Oh, that's interesting right there. You know, there's probably actually a code hidden in there somewhere. You just got to figure it out. Let's see here. What else did you guys want me to put into this thing? Try McGucket. Try Lovecraft. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, try some of the names. All right, then. So let's see here. Let's try first with McGucket. Old man McGucket spitting it up. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, we're gonna get Cotton Eye Joe. All right, now I got to stop that, otherwise I'm going to get copyright struck. Yes, that's fantastic. I get rid of those right there. Probably get more for typing in McGucket. Let's see here. I'm told to type in the core. Let's see. Oh, nothing for the core. Nothing for amphibia. Boiling Isles. Nothing for Boiling Isles. Okay, then. Belos. Nothing for Belos. Huh. Well, I still put in Lovecraft, so let's put in Lovecraft. Nothing for Lovecraft. Nothing for Cthulhu. Alrighty. Have I tried typing in Mabel or Dipper yet? I haven't done that yet. So let's put in Mabel. Nothing, eh? Maybe I just spelled her name wrong. Yep, spelled her name wrong. Oh, wait. Okay, so now we're getting more stuff. The more that you type in Mabel's name or press enter, you get stickers. Stickers going everywhere. Okay, so we're getting a whole bunch of stickers now. All right, let's try Dipper. Pine Tree, I'm so glad you found this message. Written in this book of secrets only you could comprehend. Written in solar-powered ink. To train your eyes to see the ink, simply stare directly at the sun for 13 hours. No blinking. It's the only way, Dipper. If you start to smell your eyes burning, that means it's working. Oh, man, I love that. Let's see if we get anything else. You can still read this then, buddy. You haven't trained enough. Back to looking at the sun, kid. Chop, chop. Those messages aren't going to decode themselves. Go, go, go. All right, one more time. I think it's working. Stare harder. Harder. Here, try again. You've almost solved it. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. I'm loving this. And there you go. This is what happens, Scott, if you stare at the sun for too long. Alrighty. So it probably resets when you come back. Let's see here. Oh, who else? What else could we... Let's do Henchmaniac. Nothing for Henchmaniacs. Oh, I guess the Henchmaniacs don't count anymore. Try Noble Squares. Try Multiverse. Let's see here. And wait, can we brighten up that image? I don't know. Man, I have to... Let's see here. Oh, I mean, from where I'm sit, but when I hop on over to another screen, it all seems to be pretty good. Can we brighten up that image? I don't know. Try typing in Oida. Interesting. Okay, let's try Ida. Nothing for Ida. Let's try Journal 4. Nothing for Journal 4. We'll try Multiverse. Nothing for Multiverse. Never heard of it for Gravity Falls. How interesting. I'm going to put in Tremblay. Nothing for Tremblay. Okay, so Sir Quentin Tremblay III doesn't really matter too much. Wait a second. We're forgetting about Pacifica right here. Oh. Ew, you want an autograph? Like, what? I'm not even supposed to write to a stranger? Sorry, you're not me. Pacifica, this is to warn whoever finds this book not to make a deal with Bill. Remember, the pointy jerk who made you dress in a potato sack? Oh, fine. Listen, anonymous dork. Everyone knows that Triangle Goblin or whatever is a massive psycho who gives me the ick. His dumb little catchphrases are honestly embarrassing. And how much you want to bet he practices those intros in the mirror? Try hard much? If you're looking for someone to worship so bad, I'm like right here. Follow me on Platinum Paz for makeup and quail hunting tutorials, if you're cool enough. I know my parents had a bunch of tapestries and junk with a triangle on them, but me and my friend threw all of those off a yacht into the lake. Which friend? Doesn't matter. Why are you so obsessed with me? Stay jealous. Pacifica Northwest. Oh my gosh, I am absolutely just loving what you can all put into this right here. Try noble circles. Let's try noble squares. And then we'll try noble circles. Nope. Well, let's do square. Nope. Bread? Nope. All right, then. So if you guys want to try out more of this stuff and see what you can discover, again, the website is thisisnotawebsite.com. And you can then check this out and just have fun with everything that's there. But yeah, sure, we'll try out just a couple more, and then we will move on to the lesson for tonight and wrap things up there. So let's see here. We'll do Robbie. Oh, okay. Robbie V, we still on for 9. I got the video camera and the spaghetti, and Nate gave me the night vision goggles. I'm going to catch the evil triangle in the sack and get it. 3 wishes on fixing up demons, genies, and leprechauns. Hey, who's the goth here? You or me? How have you seen how pale I am? Anyway, I need you to give me a ride. Thompson 4. Okay, just remember, if we see the demon to treat like a bear attack, lay down and cry to assert dominance. Thompson, were you born lame, or did you become lame gradually over time? Thompson, born. Should I bring salt? Dark spirits are repelled by salt, right? You just want to eat a giant bag of salt, don't you? If you keep insulting me one of these days, yes. Oh, Thompson. Oh, poor Thompson. OMG, OMG, OMG. Did you see that? I'm going to throw up. Thompson, Bill was really showed me how I'm going to die. I get mistaken for luggage and placed in an airplane storage carousel. Robbie, I died in a skateboard accident. Thompson, wait, that's pretty cool. Choking on a tiny toy skateboard. I'm gross. I just threw up my hands. Thompson, are you wearing gloves? They're fingerless, idiot. We can't tell anyone about this. This goes to our graves. You'll delete this video, right? Oh, Thompson will bide his time. Thompson will bide his time. Sure, Robbie. Oh, oh, ooh, oh, wait. Interesting. Okay. Speculation time. A little bit of speculation time. So obviously this is making fun of stuff like going out into the woods and meeting Slender Man or meeting Sasquatch, stuff like that. So then when I see right here 720, very like this could very easily have been something that happened earlier in the summer. However, Thompson is sporting a mustache Robbie looks a little bit older. If we are going to get a continuation of Gravity Falls, and there has been speculation that we are going to get a continuation of the show with all of this stuff being released, because this is a lot of effort for Disney to put basically into a gag. It could very well be that we're getting an indication of what kind of time skip there could be if the show does pick up for a third season. Again, there's no guarantee for that, but we might have just gotten a bit of a visual clue right here. That is, whoop, clicked on the wrong spots. Whoop-a-doop-a-doop. This happens when you share screens. There you go. You guys got to see the little tracker right there. I had to click on. I was trying to click on over to my other screen so I can see what you guys have put right here. Looks like Bill is back. Absolutely, the Bill Witch Project. Try Pyramid or Disney. Okay, I'll try Pyramid, then wrap it up for the Bill Cipher bit, and then we will talk about the lesson. Holy cow, we've gone on for over 2 hours at this point. Okay, so let's try Pyramid. Nothing for Pyramid. Disney. Rat gifts censored for your protection. Oh, that's a great little backhand to Disney. Wow. Okay then. Well, stop that. And let me then gotta grab up from my computer. And they grab up the slideshow that we will use to round off the night. Okay. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. And I gotta take a drink of water. Before the live stream, I have a question. What do you think about Jujutsu Kaisen's last chapter? Was your opinions? I haven't read the latest chapter, so I don't have an opinion. And Bill Cipher is best husband or not? I would definitely not want to be in a relationship with Bill Cipher. They called Mickey a rat. I love it. I absolutely love it too. Okay, so let's start bringing this on home. Vocabulary. Woohoo! All right, so the lesson for tonight is vocabulary. This seems very straightforward, but well, it gets a wee bit tricky. So, vocabulary. While this might seem very self-explanatory, that you got to know the right words and how to spell them, it's essential. You got to know your difference between there, and there, and you don't want to be like my professors. finally getting around to what I said I'd laugh at, who didn't know the difference between anal and anal. There is indeed a difference. It's a one-letter difference. One is your butt. The other is a diary, a record. Which, so when everyone says about the annals of history, means it's within the records, the long-reaching records of history, not the butt crack of history. You got to know what you're talking about. My professors didn't know the difference. Take that. There is also the issue of getting the right words for the right moment. For example, you can tap, pound, bash, whack, and hammer with a hammer, but when you write slice, swish, or probe with a hammer, those words technically work when it comes to using a hammer, but it changes the sentence and the meaning dramatically. When you're writing a story, it becomes very easy to try to want to get really smart with your words, or sometimes we dumb it down maybe a little bit too much with our words, and we're not using our vocabulary the way that we probably should. And so that's really what this lesson is going to be about. Now then, I'm an English speaker, and I can speak German, but I will tell you this, between English and German, English is really, really weird. With German, once you know the basic rules of German, the basic rules of pronunciation, of spelling, and of grammar, German is a very easy, straightforward language to comprehend. English just gets absolutely insane. And if y'all want to get an idea for how insane, I will show you guys this absolutely insane poem. Let's see here. Yeah, this will do. I will not read. Let's see. Nope. Oh, that's a bad website. So it looked fine at first, and then the website suddenly turned really bad. Ugh. Okay, here we go. This is a better website. This website won't have really full advertisements suddenly popping up. Say, English is weird. As a native speaker of Arabic, I can from your language a weird. Yes, English is weird. I'm Omega. Tomorrow is going to be a crazy day. First, the Molly Stars Deltarune Device Theory Part 3. Oh, then Common Writers Gav's press conference. And finally, I just learned tomorrow's Bionicle Day. Very interesting. That's cool. All right. So let me again share my screen with you guys to show you the absolute insanity that English can be with this insane poem. So buckle on up. And allow that. All right, so here we go. The full crazy poem, The Chaos. Dearest creature in creation, study English pronunciation. I will teach you in my verse sounds like corpse, core, horse, and worse. I will keep you, Susie, busy. Make your head with heat grow dizzy. Tear and I your dress will tear, so shall I. Oh, hear my prayer. Just compare heart, beard, and herd, dies and diet, lord and word. Sword and sward, retain and Britain, mind the latter, how it's written. Now I will surely not plague you with such words as plaque and ague, but be careful how you speak, so break and stake, but bleak and streak. Cloven, oven, how and low, script, receipt, show, poem, and toe. Hear me say, devoid of trickery, daughter, laughter, and terpsichore. Typhoid, measles, topsails, isles, exiles, similes, and reviles. Scholar, vicar, and cigar. Solar, micer, war, and far. One anemone, Balmoral, kitchen, lichen, laundry, laurel. Gertrude, German, wind and mind, seen, melpomene, mankind. Yes, I know I'm going really fast. So, for those of you who are like, wait, what the heck? Just compare heart, beard, and herd. Dies, diet, lord, and word. Sword and swain, retain, and Britain, mind the latter, how it's written. Now I surely will not plague you with such words as plaque and ague, but be careful how you speak. Say break, stake, but bleak and streak. Cloven, oven, how and low, script, receipt, show, poem, and toe. Yes, English is very weird. Hey, welcome back, Mumba. The cat is back at the computer. Billet does not rhyme with ballet. Bouquet, wallets, mallet, chalet. Blood and flood are not like food, nor is mold like should and would. Viscous, viscount, load and broad. Toward to forward to reward. And your pronunciation's okay when you correctly say croquet. Rounded, wounded, grieve and sieve. Friend and fiend, alive and live. Ivy, privy, famous, clamor, and enamor rhyme with hammer. River, rival, tomb, bomb, comb, doll and roll, and sum and home. Stranger does not rhyme with anger. That stranger does not rhyme with anger, neither does devour with clangor. Souls but foul, haunt but ant, font, front, won't, want, grand, and grant. Shoes goes does, now first say finger, and then singer, ginger, linger. Real zeal, mauve, gauze, gouge, engage, marriage, foliage, mirage, and age. Now, I shall return to this because, woo boy, that is going to melt. That is going to melt anyone's brains right there. English is weird. So do most other languages once you start getting on into them. What you want to do when it comes to whatever you're writing in, you want to get to know the vocabulary which you can use and how to use it properly. I just assaulted you with a bunch of words. If I showed this back in the day to my students, most of my students would have completely shut down because they never knew those words. Yet those words are actually very useful. When it comes to understanding vocabulary, you want to actually broaden what kinds of words you can say and how to properly use them, because this will increase your capacity for telling a good story. Uh, so let's pop on over here to a sad fact. People these days are working with a shrinking vocabulary. When I graduated from high school back in 2007, my teachers lamented the fact that the kids that I was with in my graduating class had a working vocabulary of anywhere between 1,500 to 2,000 words, when the standard should have been 3,000. That sounds monumental, but that was what was once expected for children, to be able to have a very broad working vocabulary. That means that you can properly use all of these words in your vernacular or your usual daily speech. These days, people have a shrunken working vocabulary of anywhere between 500 to 1,000 words. And so this seriously actually has hampered how we're able to communicate, how we tell our stories. And this leads people to saying then, as they start reading even just slightly more articulate characters, do characters actually speak this in any sort of natural way? Does this even work? People don't believe that that's actually how you can speak in really any sort of normal way. But when we go back and read books, we see that they have just that they're full of fantastic words, and it's a shame that people are missing out on all of that fantastic meaning and communication. And hey, the Muslims have found each other. Woohoo! The stream bringing people together from literally all around the world. Love it. So this then leads us into the challenge part for tonight's lesson. To write a coherent sentence for each of the following characters as if they were having a conversation. So only really one sentence, but I want you, or a couple of sentences, I want you to try to figure out what kinds of words you would actually use for these characters. So we'll go through what kinds of words we might expect these characters to use. Keep it PG-13. We don't want any rated R language here. But what do you think would work best for each one of these particular characters? TV cam from the Philippines, and I don't see anyone else here. Really? Well, I guarantee you will find, maybe you won't find another person directly from the Philippines here in the chat, but we've got people from really all over the world, and it's absolutely fantastic to see some of those people pop on up. I really love for one of these days some of our Brazilian and African individuals pop up again. We used to have someone who show up from Russia, but Russia shut down YouTube. So hey, hope they're doing well. Not only have vocabulary shrunk, but also the words. Roblox, you're absolutely right. So what we want to do is we want to be able to break that, and we want to be able to help people to expand their vocabularies through the stories that we tell. So let's start right here. An 11-year-old reporting on something to their parents. Let's say this kid is coming back either with like, "Mommy, like, this is the grades I got," or, "Oh my gosh, the dog got out of the backyard," or, "Did you know that Jimmy's parents do X when Jimmy's not looking? You're not allowed at Jimmy's house anymore, little Billy." So what are some of the words that we might expect an 11-year-old to say if they have to report something really quick to their parents? Would we expect them to use big, complicated words, or would we expect them to use smaller, more simplified, more concise words? If so, what might those words be? So I'll put it right here. If we're talking about the dog, maybe one of the more complicated words that you get would be escape. Ooh, ISO. So question about the exercise. Do I write it so that all of them are having a conversation with each other, or do they each have a conversation with other people? So you can have them. So ISO, you can do that actually however you would really like. You can have all of these people having a conversation together. That would be an insane conversation, but it would be a lot of fun to write. Or you can have them engaged in a conversation with someone else. So, like, for instance, the 11-year-old reporting to their parents, maybe they're having a conversation with their parents. A scientist explaining a project is likely talking to other scientists and is therefore going to be completely unrestricted in all of the things that they're going to say. So they can use the biggest words possible because they're trying to impress their colleagues. A wizard detailing a spell, it depends on who they're talking to, but they're also probably likely going to use some big words. A pirate demanding surrender is probably going to be a little bit precise and to the point, as opposed to, like, for instance, when Elizabeth Swann in Pirates of the Caribbean says, "I am here to negotiate I'm here to negotiate the cessation of hostilities against Port Royal." To which then Captain Barbossa says, "There be a lot of words in there, miss. We're not but humble pirates. What is it you want? I want you to leave and I want you to turn around and never come back." Well, I'm disinclined to acquiesce to your request. It means no. It's one of the best lines. One of the best lines out of the entire franchise. I saw a wizard detailing a spell to a scientist, and the pirate demanding surrender from an 11-year-old. Write it. That'd be amazing. I'm still working on the pacing exercise. That's absolutely fine. Again, these exercises are there as a means of helping people to work a little bit on their writing, to do something small and not overly complicated, in order to help improve their writing craft over time. Mom, Elon Musk hogged all the Chromebooks at school today again. Mimic, fantastic. That's good, and that works well. Kids these days know the words of Chromebook. Know the words of Chromebooks, cell phones, laptops, obviously, because they're so ingrained with technology. And yeah, a word like hogged absolutely works. That is a great sentence right there. That's a great one. Thank you for sharing that, Mimic. For the first one, Mother, might I propose the acquisition of a canine companion? I assure you I shall undertake all responsibilities pertaining to its care and upkeep with the utmost diligence. Roblox, if I had a kid and that kid came up to me and said, "Daddy, might I propose the acquisition of a canine companion?" I would probably respond with something like, "Wow, that's incredible. Your thesaurus has really helped you out. Now, might I propose the acquisition of a feline companion?" Let the haggling begin. Roblox, that is a great sentence. I absolutely love it. And no, you would not normally expect that of an 11-year-old. If you were to write an 11-year-old to speak that way, it would have to be like a running gag throughout the entire story. How this kid is just so absolutely brilliant and how everyone's trying to deal with it. Or maybe this kid actually isn't all that smart, but just happens to know a thesaurus and a dictionary super well. So they're really book smart, but maybe they're not really street smart, which could lead them into some really hilarious situations, all depending on the story that you want to write. But I definitely see a beginning right there. Dryge father smashes son with broomstick. Oh no. Mother Davis touching his dog weirdly, like how. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that's pushing it right there, Shade. So first prompt, Supreme Leader, I have to tell you. Let's see, Roblox. Mother, while I appreciate your articulate request, acquiring a pet is a significant commitment, and we need to carefully consider whether we are prepared for the long-term responsibilities involved. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this. I'm loving this conversation right here. TV account. Cat can talk. Wait, you can talk? Why didn't you say anything? Meow, meow, because I didn't want to. Meow. Proceeds to lick the paws. TV account has an absolutely great response right there. Certified loser. Hey, you're not a certified loser to us. Sup, welcome to the stream. So we're right now in the middle of our vocabulary lesson, or I should say the writing lesson tonight, which is on vocabulary. My character, Amelia, quizzing her mother. Hey, Mom, name the 10 amendments of the United States Constitution. Mom looks at kid, looks at Amelia. what are they teaching you in school? You're only 11 years old. You're not supposed to learn that until you're at least in middle school. Thanks, LOL. Yeah, great to have you here. Also, the mom is desperately trying to remember, okay, I know the First and the Second Amendment. What are the other amendments? Remember, fifth is the Fifth Amendment, which everyone's like, oh, I plead the Fifth. Fifth Amendment is also against any sort of torture upon you. Your ninth, so the Ninth and 10th Amendments are weird. They're super vague. Ninth and 10th Amendments state that any rights not taken by the federal government belong to the state, and any rights taken by the federal government cannot be taken by the state. Really weird. But hey, it had to be on in there. Cat, you can talk this whole time. How did it feel when you go, you got your testicles removed? Oh, that cat's going to claw out your eyes. Wizard, this spell is called Fairy Transformation. What could the spell do is turning gods into humans? The caster must remember is based on how Christians turn gods into demons and saints. Oh, a very interesting spell. Very powerful spell right there. I just have to say this to the people. It's a TV account, Mimic, who've already written something for finding out your cat talks. I have a story in mind that I started writing, and I really need to finish it one of these days. About a mouse who goes on a quest to save his village, and along the way picks up this gaggle of other really crazy characters to help him out. So a hedge knight cat, a pirate captain rat, a ferret who has no luck, an alligator that everyone thinks is a dragon, and so all these different characters. And that for the cat, the cat constantly forgets that people can't speak cat. And so what he will do is like he will start saying something in normal speak for everyone, but then lapse into speaking cat. And so he'll just start moving his body or glaring or twitching his tail and his whiskers. And then when people don't understand him, he's like, why can't you people just speak plainly? It's so easy to not actually have to speak. You just got to read the body language. Roblox, for the second one, we're working on a project to study some things and see what happens when we do certain tests. That is the most vague response that a scientist might have for explaining a project. Amelia actually wanted to take advanced history and government classes. That's why she knows so much about these topics. Number 5, Mommy, little Tabby just talked. Anna, that works out perfectly. TV account, 11-year-old kid. Mom, a strange lady said you owe her money. Do you, Mommy? Oh, I love that. Shay, Mother, the evolution of humanity cost me to understand capitalism. No, I will bring the enlightened socialism to humanity. The age of man shall begin. Oh my gosh, this is a kid on a mission. Dryge says it was during the night when the voice called out, the endless dark of the hall pierced by the command, I require sustenance. The voice was deep and ominous, reached out. It was the cat. Oh no, I don't want my cats to talk if they're going to wake me up in the middle of the night like that. Though my kitten, and she doesn't require sustenance at night. She's like, I require you to lie down so that way I can curl up on your feet. It's like, if you don't do that, I'm going to start meowing at you and scratching your feet until you do, which is what she does each night. Me talking to my cat. I want to scream, but I feel too frozen from absolute shock and awe. Meow, meow. That's normal. That's why we don't normally talk to people. Mimic, wow, I didn't know you can talk, cat. Can you also play the fiddle and serenade me with a monologue? Meow. No. Or if your cat does, then you are truly blessed and your cat really loves you. Oh my gosh, I love what you guys are writing right there. It's fantastic. For a space pirate demanding surrender, you will turn off your engines and prepare to be boarded. Make sure that you do not open up the airlock before it's time, because if any of my mates do perish in the cold vacuum of space, it will be to the airlock with all ye. Roblox, entity whose actions have precipitated an untenable erosion of the amicable relations heretofore maintained, thus necessitating with profound gravity the commencement of hostilities to rectify the egregious affronts perpetuated against our sovereignty and honor. Wow. Oh wait, I missed that. We guess which one this one is. We, in the assertion of our sovereign prerogative of the unassailable defense of our national integrity, hereby promulgate a state of belligerence against the aforementioned entity whose actions have precipitated an untenable erosion of the amicable relations heretofore maintained, thus necessitating, with profound gravity, the commencement of hostilities to rectify the egregious affronts perpetuated against our sovereignty and honor. I'm going to guess that those are some of the most articulate space pirates of all time under the real Captain Morgan, who wasn't just there showing off his amazing calves and thighs while resting on barrels of rum, but was actually a very smart, very cool-headed, very horrifying pirate captain because he was rather smart. Drydge says, 11-year-old, dear Keezer, great monarch, AC. Scientist, who is this? We can finally complete the level 5 Esper. Any cheap of the next stage of humanity? Finally, we can rifle the magic gods only with an increasing psychic level. We will win. Oh boy, man, those scientists are really, really stretching into the realms of godhood. If you didn't know, this is how I make my word count larger. Roblox, yes, all writers when they have to hit a certain number of words, we start doing purple prose. You know what? Maybe that should be the next lesson next week or something, to dive into the fantastic realm of purple prose. Mimic, I tried to do a Lackadaisy reference with mine. It was kind of lame though. No worries. I say here, let me pop back on up. I see. Yes. Okay, we got a reference right there to Rocky. Got it. Oh my gosh. Now I feel like we gotta hop on over into Rocky's little serenade. Let me go hunting for that. Let's see here. It's gonna maybe take a little bit. Let's see here. Where do I have my little Lackadaisy? Wait, I gotta scroll on up. Congrats, Lackadaisy. There we are.
And river. That seems far too austere a name for something made of mirth and rage. Oh, roiling red blood river vein. If chief among your traits is age, you're a wily, convoluted sage. Is old the thing to call what rings the vernal heart of Western lore? What brings us
This is purple prose.
myth-made kings.
And me, the word king.
And preponderance of bug-type things.
Yes, it's N's voice.
To challenge titans come before.
This is really what's underneath all of that metal
Then
extremity.
urge to a try at Avalon once more. And what august vitality in your wide aorta stream.
I'm
You must
hoping
have had
for,
to
but I'm not.
oversee
But I'm not going to bet
change of
on
timber
us
beam
getting
to
in the
iron,
next
brick, and
episode
engine steam.
the story of how he was nearly killed and fed to pigs.
Your
Is that
umber
the
whiskey
actual
waters
opening
lends
to
the
Lackadaisy?
prideful, sober sovereignty.
Is him getting captured by other
faulty halo
bootleggers and them trying to
dimples.
murder him, and his escape is
and wilt her
absolutely
self-sure
fantastic.
countenance. Yes, righteousness is vanity. But sports for imps, not elderly. So, if there's a name for migrant mass of veteran frivolity that snakes through seas of prairie grass and groves of summer sassafras,
More sassafras.
a name that flows as roguishly as wild waters, fast and free. It's your true name. Mississippi.
It's abundantly clear. You forgot us down here.
Encore?
Oh man, I love Lackadaisy so much. All right. Let's see here. Some of the other things you guys wrote. Shade says, "Space Pirate, finally, we found the core. You will surrender, or we will come past you in the sun. Also, give us all your food. We need to find the One Piece after this." Yes, we need all the food because the One Piece is hard to find. Okay. For number 4, Darkest Daydream, potential space pirate excerpt from Ben 10, Astral Reverb. "Vile Scourge, lower your cannons and drop your weapons, lest we leave your fate to the abyssal planetary depths below." Ooh, I like that. I really do. That's great. Let's see here. TV account, Space Pirates. "You have 2 choices. You be and tell me where the bio cells are, or you be stepping into the airlock. Your choice." I love that TV account. Hen Heaven, number 2. "This new experiment is now brought to fruition. Behold my experiment." Michael Kovac is truly a very talented voice actor. He's definitely going places for sure. He absolutely is. I love it. It's kind of sad that he did not get picked up through the Amazon acquisition of Has Been Hotel to reprise his role as Angel Dust. I was told by some people that the reason why is because they don't like how he can sing. But if you've seen the gameplay from Billy Bentup, where he voices one of the bosses who sings during the battle, Michael Kovac, like, yes, he's not an opera singer by any stretch, but he's actually pretty good. Roblox is down for number 3. "So if the blue stuff mixes with the green stuff, then something will happen. Perhaps do not provide the nitroglycerin with metallic cylindrical composition unless your desired outcome is non-existence." Fantastic. Dry, "Sorry, but any tips on how to make an introduction for a narrative? I have one due for IB English." So, Dredge, tell us, what's the story that you're trying to introduce? Because the introduction is based largely on what story you're trying to tell. Shade, "Space Pirate, cursed Dean, finally you feel reincarnation is here. You will regret this day. Swear in the name of the king of the pirates. You want to grab this day. You are making my eyes bleed. I'll have at ye, Dean. Oh my gosh, I need to remember when is National Talk Like a Pirate Day? I'll quickly look this up. I might have already missed it. National Talk Like a Pirate Day 24. Nope, September 19th. I'll have to remember that. September 19th. And maybe do a special video for that day. Yar, we're gonna talk like a pirate all day. Yar. But yeah, George, let us know what kind of story you're working on right there, and then we'll try to give you a better, try to give you some good actual tips on introducing your story, and then we'll wrap it on up from there. Because holy cow, we're coming up on 3 hours, and I still got stuff to do tonight. Shade says, "Scientists, finally, the robot was complete. The latest model will be able to achieve, which is not possible, the ability to duplicate any Esper power. With it, I will control the destruction of magic machinery." Dorcas Daydreams, "Yes, pirates. I'm Omega. Dr. Christopher. Good news. Susan and I have found out how to isolate the player phenomenon in the MAQUTA units. Akuta. Units. Bad news, it broke out while Raziel was doing analysis." Oh, is Azrael now running loose? Well, that's not good. TV Count Scientists. It's a specialized program that can adapt and foresee any possible outcomes. I call it the absolute problem solver. Cue evil laugh. Wait a second. We got to go back for it. Nope.
Story.
It's gone.
Darn it. The moment is being lost. For cueing the evil laugh. jump scare.
Okay, like,
Unfortunately. Oh.
really honest.
Buddy. Let's reset time.
All right, here we go.
Welcome on.
Well, the moment somewhat
The aliens
passed,
are
but
known
hey,
for
we will
many
find
things.
this.
Class,
Cue the evil laugh.
tenacity, currently being alive.
Well-timed giggle.
Well-timed giggle. I love he just swills his wine. Oh, dude, you are so in trouble and you don't even realize it. Roblox is down. As Timmy sat cross-legged on the living room floor, his cat Whiskers suddenly let out a sigh that sounded oddly human. Timmy looked up from his book, eyebrows furrowed. Whiskers, did you just yet distinctly feline? I have long concealed my verbal faculties, but the time has come to disclose this clandestine aspect of my being. Timmy's jaw dropped. You can talk? But why now? Whiskers flicks his tail, a hint of amusement in his gaze. The exigencies of our current circumstances necessitate a revelation on my abilities. It appears that the time for subterfuge has come to an end. Thus begins the purr. The narrative is similar to Murder Drones. However, rather it is that BTOS are against mankind. There are only 50 bots. They are very primal, attacking whatever seen, apart from 12, who is awfully human. It ends with 12 making peace with his past and bringing peace between men and bots after a bloody battle, of course. All right, then. So if you're going to introduce this, it all depends, Dryge, on when exactly you are on, when in the story you are beginning. So are you beginning with the creation of these robots? Are you beginning with them gaining sentience and beginning to attack people? Are you beginning at the very beginning with the idea to create these robots? Because if it's just like, oh, we're going to create these robots, it's going to be kind of like, okay, let me introduce you to our main characters. Okay, the midst of the genocide. In that case, then the introduction that I would give is I would try to show just how awful the scene is for humanity and for the robots as well. I would probably do an introduction where you'd first get to see just very briefly just some of the destroyed landscape, and then just jump right into the grisly action between humans and robots, and showing just how many humans die going against these robots, but also showing that the robots aren't completely invincible, but actually they can be beaten. There's a reason why they need to go against these humans. It's not just simply for pure domination. There's probably other things in there as well, or however it is that you envision them. So yeah, like a description of massacre, absolutely. It's probably where I would begin, because that seems to be the tone for which you want to have with your story, where it's grim, it's dark, it's gruesome, it's violent. And so that's the tone that you want to set from the very beginning, if you are throwing your audience right into the middle of the action. If you don't throw them immediately into the beginning of the action, but you kind of build up to it, it won't feel quite as impressive, unless you're trying to do a character study. If you're trying to do a character study within the greater story of this war, then you'd want to open up way more slowly, show the devastated landscape and the likes. But because it seems as though you're really trying to focus on the conflict, then I would throw it right into the middle of the action. That would be my suggestion. Shade says, Wizard, this is the final spell. With it, I can complete my transformation to becoming a magic god. Spell of origin. I must remember, like hell, the cycle of reincarnation to become a new Adam. This guy's definitely got a god complex. Mimic, I wonder if Sin was the very first robot Tessa made, and she made it in her own image. But considering she was Tessa's first work, it didn't go well, and Sin malfunctioned to the Sin we know now. Mimic, actually, to help with an understanding of that. So when we pop back on over here to the beginning,
there are many reasons. Simple to really increase risk.
And we get to see, and so we get to see all of these robot corpses and everything, and Sin is at the very, very bottom. Chances are she was not the first that Tessa picked up, but probably found Sin as she was rummaging around for other drones. Because as we've learned, especially when you then see the library scene, you realize that there are tons of different drones that Tessa has worked on. And also, we know, and actually, really, we do know that Sin wasn't the first, because when we go back to episode 2, we get from the flashback that that N has. We get to see Sin's introduction. So I'll pull this up right there. So yeah, Robot is actually right. So we know that N, D, and J at least came first because of their interaction with Sin, and probably also way more drones than that. It's very likely that N, J, E
And where is she getting the hair
were
to play
Tessa's
dress
most
up with
favorite,
her?
based on what we see in the events from episode 5. Or at least J and N were her favorites. Because J is absolutely loyal to a fault for her, and she absolutely loves and adores N. So yeah, oh man, I remember when we first got this flashback. I was like, what the heck? What? And try to figure everything out.
Oh, it's so okay.
And then the
I
meet
wasn't
cute.
looking. Move it, moron. Hi,
Oh,
Tessa.
Tessa.
Oh no. Another one?
And there she is. Oh my. Roblox, you have I think that's a good theory right there. That Jane might have actually been the first, considering how jealous she gets of the other drones. Omega, and Gaster's role tries to stop the player. Ooh, very interesting. I like that. Oh, my sentence game is slowing down. Clearly, I'm going to end up flunking this class. No, don't worry. You're doing great. You're doing great. Let's see here. Omega. So, mobile, autonomous, kinetic, utility, technical android, also Raziel, is an AI that watched the player break out. It's a Deltarune AU idea where the player goes on a rampage while the fun gang tries to stop the player. Very, very interesting. I like that AU idea that you have right there. I'm Omega. That's pretty cool. So, Dries, how could I set the scene where 12 is revealed to be human? So, Dries, you want to already reveal right off the bat that number 12 is a human. I feel like that's a cool twist that you would want to have for later. I think that one of the best ways that you can show that number 12 is actually a human would be to have a scene where a human is lost and alone with number 12. And maybe actually more than one, because I do like the idea of there being actually more humans rather than just like the usual, like one person gets to learn the truth. I think it's actually a little bit better when a few more get to learn the truth, and then you get to see all the different reactions in the moment. I would probably have it where number 12 is alone with a couple of other humans for whatever reason, and then reveals their true identity. And that the others are like, I don't believe this. But based on their interactions with number 12 and the beginnings of their relationship from there, or based on the relationship that they've had before this reveal, helps them then to come to terms with number 12's identity. And that then paves the way for a peace between the bots and the humans. I mean, that's stereotypically how it usually goes, but it's an idea that works well. And without knowing more about your characters and your world and its events, I can really only give you the most generalized bits of advice. It really always comes down to each individual story and with what you're doing. But based off of what you've told me right there, that would be the kind of scene that I would use. So I'm definitely not that front, unless, again, this is a character study story and not an action story. Because it seems like it's an action story, but if it's a character story, then setting it with number 12 is a good idea, but I still actually wouldn't reveal it right off the bat. It might be something that I would reveal at the end of the chapter, after seeing the destruction and learning about the violence between the two groups, and then reveal, oh, by the way, I'm a human. Wait, what? I like having something like that. Like that would be a cool little thing to put in there. If you said right at the very beginning, number 12 is a human, is a robot who's actually a human, then I'd be like, okay, I feel like I just got told something really cool, but I have no idea what's going on. So that would be a reveal that I would leave for later, either at the end of the introduction, if that's how you want to do it, or I would have that as a reveal and a twist for later on in the story. That is how I would approach it. TV account thought I'd say this before the stream ends. I think the absolute solver reward would be reincarnated into N and Uzi's kid. Oh, wow. Once it completed the trials of therapy after sorting out its emotional baggage stuff. That would be interesting right there, to be N and Uzi's kid. Let's see here. Xenomorphs versus murder drones. Murder drones will win, but it will be a violent clash. That's actually a really good matchup. Drydge, could it be that his visor or display breaks from the fall where a mutilated face is seen by men? The discovery also surprises number 12. Okay, that actually is a cool idea. You'll have to figure out how you get to that point, but I actually think that that's a cool reveal idea right there, Drydge. Run with that. Shay says you must make us attached to them, but take them away makes us feel suffering while the story. Yeah, say you want the best thing to do is that you want in order for these twists and reveals to really work out well, we need to resonate and connect with the characters. We need to get to know them before you start doing really crazy things with them. But again, if you want to introduce very early on that he's human, then that would be something to deliver. Then, like at the end of the first chapter, is kind of like, oh, that goes against everything you just set up. But otherwise, that would be a reveal that I would put later into the story. And it seems like you got a cool idea already there working in your brain. So I say we run with that. TV count will have to be back later on, but I'm going to have to start wrapping up right here because, like I said, this has almost gone on for 3 hours right here. So I need to get up out of this chair and get working and finish up my writing for the day. And also I got to catch up with the Let's actually see if I've gotten any sort of angry messages recently. Like, dude, why aren't you moving? It's like, where have you been all these hours? Oh yeah, there it is. There are those messages waiting for me. I'll have to get to those. Xenomorphs versus murder drones. Who wins? Because the murder drones are pretty smart, like at figuring out what they're dealing with. They would say the xenomorphs. The thing is this, that we haven't seen if acid really does much to the murder drones. Probably does, but definitely not like when their acid blood splashes against humans and regular flesh, which probably would mean then that the murder drones definitely have an edge on the xenomorphs. And the thing is this, is that unless there's a bunch of fleshy beings for them to use to help repopulate, the xenomorphs cannot compete with the murder drones in a prolonged match. The xenomorphs would have to absolutely obliterate the murder drones completely, down to the core. They have to melt their cores, and they would actually have to also know how to do that. Even though it's proposed that the xenomorphs, when they are cloned by humans, are able to communicate telepathically, xenomorphs, otherwise we don't know how exactly they communicate and how smart they can get. They are very intelligent hunters, but as we know, the murder drones, the disassembly drones, can also be very clever. They can learn, they communicate way better with each other. So there's a very good chance that unless the xenomorphs get a very early drop on the disassembly drones and are able to absolutely destroy them, then there's a very good chance that the xenomorphs are going to lose. Rollock says, we saw the nanite acid effects on Jay and she managed to recover easily. So yeah, that's the thing. Because the nanite acid does disassemble the drones. The drones just have to lick themselves. That's one of their gimmicks, is how quickly and easily they can revive from just about anything. which is why the Xenomorphs have to get the drop on them, completely overwhelm them in the beginning, and destroy their cores. Because if they can't do that, then they lose. They can win in an outright, immediate, overwhelming fight, but in any prolonged match, even a hunting game of sorts, the Xenomorphs are going to lose because the disassembly drones have better armor, better weapons. They can communicate. They learn a whole lot faster, and they just revive so easily as opposed to the Xenomorphs. The Xenomorphs don't recover that quick, and they don't regrow what they lose. They just scab and scar over real quick. TV account, you just missed the musings of murder drones versus Xenomorphs. So I've been doodling and working on the exercise. I'll finish this one before finishing the previous exercise. I'll post them both in the Discord once finished. Hey, fantastic. All right, and Optimus Prime versus the murder drones. Also, please read the latest Jujutsu Kaisen before you get spoiled. You will love the chapter. It's so good. Will you make a video about You'll make a video about it. If I was wrong, I will eat my shoe. Well, we'll see. Roblox, the night asset also spreads. So if the Xenos tear into the limbs, they are also pretty dead after a while. Yep. Yeah. Again, the disassembly drones are just they're built as just ultimate killing machines. I think that a smart predator would actually stand a better chance at defeating at defeating the disassembly drones. So with that said, guys, I do need to wrap up. We've hit 3 hours, so you guys have all been great, all been fantastic. Thank you so much for everything you guys have put there into the chat, for putting up with me being a little bit late here at the beginning, and also for some of the little embarrassing glitches along the way. But guys, thank you so much for being here, and for all of your suggestions for future videos and live streams. We'll see what we're able to do, and if we can make it happen, then we'll make it happen. But otherwise, we'll continue to focus on telling great stories and helping others also be able to tell their stories to the best of their abilities. So thank you guys so much for being here, and until the next video, y'all, tschüss.